My mic was muted on YouTube side. I always mess it up. I always mess up something. You know, every time I screw something up. Wi-Fi Gospel with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, "Send Bryce all your money, you degenerates." Heck yeah, man. It's my wife and 10% of my parish's name day. Many years, my friend. Many years. That's fantastic. What's up, man?
Hello.
Yo, what's going on? Oh, my mic was muted. Sorry. What's up?
Cool. So I am an Orthodox Christian, actually very recently baptized, but there's this thing called essence energies distinction, and supposedly you're an expert on this. And the thing is, like, I kind of find it hard to believe in because it feels as if the saints are saying that we're going to become God.
Well, I mean, so you have to realize that, like, whether or not there is the essence energies distinction, like any apostolic tradition that affirms that we become gods to a degree, like all of the apostolic traditions do that, because that's like some of the very first things that the earliest fathers taught. Like especially like Saint Irenaeus. I mean, he literally said himself, he said, God became man so that man may become God.
Yeah, I read that in his book against
heresies, yeah.
Yeah, against heresies.
But the thing is, though, is that when we say that we become gods, that's not us saying that we're becoming gods by nature, that we're becoming gods by grace. It's not even close to the same thing. And grace is an energy. So that's something that's being provided to us. We're participating in divinity. We are not literally identical to divinity. Does that make sense?
There's this analogy that a priest gave me, and I just want to like say it to you, then maybe you could like re-explain it to me in other words. Maybe then it would make sense, because to me it still sounds like we're saying that we're gonna become gods. So basically, you take an iron rod or something, you put it in fire, you know, it starts glowing, it takes the heat of the fire and whatnot. It has the properties of the fire, but it's not the fire.
Yeah. That's St. Gregory Palamas's analogy, actually. That's the analogy that he uses at the second Palamite Council, actually. The one from 1348. Mm-hmm. I think he uses that exact analogy, hilariously enough. Yeah, I mean, do you have an issue with that analogy? I mean, like, what's the part of that analogy that rubs you the wrong way?
I mean, it still feels like we are becoming God, because it's saying that we now get the attributes of God, which to me is kind of...
but you're not taking on the essence of the fire when you're an iron being enlightened by it, right?
Excuse me, could you repeat that, please? I didn't.
Yeah. So the property that makes you what you are, mm-hmm. right? That's your essence, right?
Yeah.
And with that analogy, specifically, it explicitly states that it's that you take on the properties that are of the essence of the fire, mm-hmm. but you are not still the essence of the fire. You still do not become literally the essence. So when we say that we become God, we're saying that we participate in divinity as an energy. We're not saying that you literally take on the essence of God. You can't do that. That's not possible.
Okay, so basically, like, we get the heat of the fire, we get the light of the fire, but we are not the fire. We can do what the fire does, but we are not the fire.
Only by the grace of God himself. That's the only thing that allows that to even occur.
Okay. but then what? As an ex-Protestant myself, I kind of have to ask, what's the difference between that and, you know, the belief that we hold in Protestantism, that, you know, we just become more like God, as like we become more loving, we share more, you know, we just have more virtues. Is that basically what's being said?
I mean, I would say that like most of the like earliest Protestants, you know, like affirmed a understanding of theosis. You know, so like theosis it sounds like the thing you have a problem with, not essence energy's distinction. Because theosis is the doctrine of deification.
Yeah,
And go ahead.
does that not come from that doesn't isn't that kind of linked to essence energies
Essence and energies is a part of it, but at the same time, the theosis is affirmed as well by Roman Catholics and to a degree Oriental Orthodox, right? So it's not something that's only talked about in Eastern Orthodoxy. Theosis is something that pretty much all of the apostolic, like historically apostolic traditions are connected to, but the Roman Catholics don't affirm the essence energies distinction, but they still have a understanding of theosis, if that makes sense.
Okay, but I don't think that the Orientals hold on to essence energies distinction, because the only reason why excuse me, because the only reason why I came to ask is because I had a conversation a while ago with an Oriental who told me that, you know, it doesn't make sense for us to affirm that humans become like God, because
Why does that not make sense? Like, what's wrong with that?
I don't know, but like for instance, I don't remember which saint I heard this from, but he said something like we move from created to uncreated. Is that?
Well, I mean, like if we take on like that the properties that an uncreating being possesses, we don't literally become uncreated in our essence, but we simply just take on properties that are originated by an uncreated being.
Okay, so basically, our essence is still created. We're still creatures. However, but like for instance, we are not bound by time or space, basically.
Yeah, because you also like, have you ever read Saint Maximus the Confessor?
No, I haven't read anything on him yet.
So Saint Maximus the Confessor actually kind of talks about that a little bit, regarding kind of like how we take on different properties and stuff, like especially when we're in heaven. Because you have to remember that heaven is in a different understanding of time than we are here. We live in this thing called the chronos down here, which is a linear movement of time. There's things can be measured by motion and space, right? In heaven, that's not possible, right? So in heaven, something like that, like even some of the people that we don't even affirm, like people like Thomas Aquinas, even, right? Like he actually has a pretty cool thing on like angels and how they don't move through space, rather they are one place and then another. Some of our saints talk about it in the same way. And so like it's a different understanding of time. It's called aeon, which is motionless time. So it's basically time that can't be measured by motion, and rather it's just there's basically no form of logical space or physical space that can be measured. And so that's the reason why, like, for example, if you notice in the book of Revelation, it says that the Apostle John, when he went to heaven, he was able to hear all of creation, right? Doesn't that sound like he had kind of like an omniscience to a degree?
Yes, I understand. So I guess that's also one of the reasons why we affirm saintly intercession.
Yes, because if the saints have the property to be able to hear all of creation,
Yes,
that would make sense. Mario says that you must join his live instead. Hey, I tell you what, if they send me Orthodox Sinner, tell Mario to send me the StreamYard link, and I'll stream over here too. I'll stream his stream on my stream, and then I'll take some of his viewers because I'm mean like that.
all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure thing, man. Join Mario's stream real quick. Okay, hold on. Cleavetoantiquity and Mario want me to join their stream. Give me a second.
The physical self. Oh, dude. He agrees that there's times for harshness. So, is really what he wants just for him to determine when it's time and when it's not?
Yes.
Look, no, Christ-like is when you listen to my arbitrary sensitivities based on a Christian spinoff, evangelicalism, that started like 5 seconds ago. And if you're not up to speed on what my smoke show church says, my TED Talk, if you're not up to speed with what Pastor Bob said on saying bad worded dudes, then what do we? I don't want to freaking talk to you. I don't think that you're biblically masculine at all. What do we?
Okay, so combine your streams.
Being very nice.
Bryce is in the chat, brother. Yeah, send him the link. Or better yet, I'll send it to him.
Yeah, you send him the link. I'll keep the debate going if he wants to hop in.
Yeah. You're gonna be bathing with the fishes.
All right. All right, guys. I guess that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna join Cleavetoantiquity and Christian Mario. I'm gonna join their stream and review something with them, I guess. Error code with the $2. Thank you very much. Well, I'm gonna stay on my stream. I'm gonna keep streaming over here. Vile Vendetta for $2 said other dudes told me to send you all my money. Thank you. Appreciate that. Debate Jason on the papacy? No, I don't think I will. He's uncharitable. And you know that I'm cool with talking about the papacy. I talk about papacy about people all the time. But Jason is uncharitable. We hijacked the stream. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me grab. Yeah, he's hijacking my stream, but I am going to continue streaming on my side though, because I'm a dick like that. Hold on. Oh crap, that's the wrong button. All right, and then will you have a formal debate with him? I literally just debated on the papacy formally. I don't care to immediately debate somebody on the papacy right after that. I'm trying to move more into Christology. The papacy is boring. It's extremely boring. Your YouTube is more behind than TikTok by like 30 seconds. So? Whoa.
Javi 8129 super chatted $10. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Javi with the $10. Appreciate that. Oh, crap. Let me do... Oh, man. Dang, what do you mean you can't access my devices, bro? Let me try this. Here, I gotta turn my camera off for a second, guys. Hold on. I will turn it back on in a second.
What I mean?
Yo, what the heck? He's here. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce J, everybody. We're going to put him up to the stage as soon as I figure out how to... Never had this many people on at one time. I'm kind of stupid. Forgive me, dude. I'm going to put you in there. Wait, what? That's not what I meant to do. What? Add to stage. There we go. Let's
there we go. What's up, man? How's it going?
How's it going, Bryce?
Doing good, man. I got to figure out how to show just this part of my screen. Hold on. Because I'm streaming on my YouTube right now, and my camera is currently on over there. And so now they're currently in the dark. So give me just a second here.
Join us, Bryce. Join us.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with being in here. I don't mind. I just want to at least continue my stream because I'm on YouTube and TikTok. So.
We all gotta. The thing is with us Orthodox YouTubers is we gotta like try to coordinate to some extent. There will always be overlap.
Oh yeah.
There's too many of us, but we can at least like kind of try sometimes. But you know, we'll
yeah, I
never
agree.
Dude, there's a lot of people who are leaning into live streaming right now. So I don't know. I think it's going to be near impossible.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to compete with each other, but also promote each other. I think the most important thing is like just keeping a goodwill sort of thing, where it's like, oh, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. That's narcissistic. No, I don't like that. We'll just keep this for now. No, but it's like we're gonna have to we'll boost each other and promote each other, but at the same time, we have to compete to some extent. But
Oh
if
yeah.
you DM me your stuff at any point, I'll repost it, and that's kind of what the deal I like to do is if you've got something, I'll repost it. When I do something, you repost it. If it
Yeah, no, I'm
conflicts
down.
with something you're doing, then you can ignore it. But in general, let's repost each other's stuff. You know?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
normally
down.
if I see somebody's got like a stream planned at the same time as mine and I'm cool with them, I'm like, dude, I'll just hop on your stream if you move it back a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah, no, I
collab,
totally do
we'll
that.
boost up, and then I send the stream over, or I send the people over, or whatever. But let's
Yeah, I
get
just
back
gotta
into
get I
this.
just
I
gotta
wanna
get
see-
better. I gotta get better at using StreamYard. I'm so
Eradicated,
bad
we
at
both
it.
agree that wives should obey their husbands and keep the house. And he can correct me if he doesn't agree with me on any of those things, but from all of my listening to him, I'm quite confident that he does. So the issue at hand, when we discuss this, is we're going to be discussing what he will try to brand as tone. And he will say that I am tone policing. And tone policing is a phrase much like the word racist or misogynist a few years ago. When you got called a racist, you were supposed to scream and bow down and grovel because you've committed the unforgivable sin. Now those words have lost their power. Tone policing is the thing now. You're tone policing me, and so you're just supposed to freak out because that means that you're an effeminate weakling. There's a difference, though.
Bro, dude, he's the new MLK, dude. He's standing up against the bigotry of the people that are against tone policing. Dude, he's a civil rights icon. He understands, dude, that the ortho bros that say that tone policing is bad, hey, that's not cool, man. As a person of tone police, I need to be normalized. I need to have civil rights. I need it in the Constitution that it's my right to control your tone at all times. Bro, dude, bro's oppressed for real. That's tough. I wonder
Did
how
you
he's
see
handling that.
did you see the craziness on X where the lady that was like telling Rachel Wilson that she should have aborted her kids, but Andrew said like a no word, so everyone was like, "Oh, Andrew's so evil, dude. He said a bad word."
What's
but this
worse?
lady just said like,
Evangelicals, I have a question. What's worse? Wishing death on somebody and their kids, or saying shut the F up after someone says that to you? Which is worse? I bet for you guys, you're going to go sin's equal. All sin is equal, so they're both equally bad. That's what happens when you are an egalitarian and have no sense of hierarchy. Your religion is unserious. That is a dumb thing to say.
You also
And Cleve's
notice
not
as well
nice
with
to me to say that, but
you also know as well with Andrew. You notice how like people when they attack Andrew, they don't attack him, they attack his wife. Like every time. Like I was actually talking with this about I was talking about this with him at DebateCon 6 when we were sitting like after the debate was over. They always go after his wife. They never go after him. Because they know that like that's like, first off, it's just not fair ground. Honestly, I think like if you attack family, you're just like you're insane.
Yeah.
Like you're an insane person to do that. I think it's crazy.
that's why I really don't want my fiance to ever show face on here, because it's like these people will wish death and rape on you.
yeah,
And
They
they
will.
will comment disgusting things. And look, I'm going to bring it up, but when Ben's wife, when there's one picture of his wife that was totally modest, nothing wrong with it, you had guys posting about them doing very terrible things to themselves to that picture and commenting that
Oh.
that's what they were doing. And so I don't say that to be vulgar or to shock anyone. I say that because you need to protect your loved ones. If you're going to be a public figure, do not have your children running around
right.
or your wife running around on your stream, because there are pedophiles, rapists, and freaks who will do reprehensible things. And that's the real thing we should be
and not
signaling about.
me, Ben Luigi.
I'm definitely getting banned from TikTok.
No, because here's the thing too, and I'll say this. I don't really care very much about bad words. But as soon as I see sexual impropriety or things like that, that's when we go ham and we piety signal on you. Because certain things can't be tolerated. There must be some degree of gatekeeping. But, you know, I think we should do a live react to Made by Jim Bob's debate as he does it. And we'll just get back into this BS and make fun of this guy a little more
Between
now.
tone policing
Is he
and
about to do
upholding
one?
biblical standards. And that's what I'm arguing for today. Now, if Andrew didn't want to
I
debate,
didn't realize that. Yeah, but in 30 minutes.
Oh,
if
dude.
he didn't want me to sermonize, if he didn't want me to come from scripture, then he shouldn't have chosen to debate with me on the issues which I have brought to him, which are specifically scriptural and tone-related issues. You can say tone. I'm saying tone because that's what people like to say, but it's not tone policing. I'm talking about biblical standards and whether or not we as Christians hold men to biblical standards or not.
Biblical
That's the question.
standards.
So actual tone.
This dude
policing
sounds
is
like a
that
soy
there is
jack,
form of
dude. I
tone
don't.
policing. It really is just feminine sensibilities getting offended,
He is
and they don't like
blood
the fact that you're saying true
incarnate.
things.
He
And
is
you know what? Andrew
blood.
says a lot of true
Let me
things.
let
and I
me
appreciate a lot
address
of the
this
things that he
comment
says.
real quick.
And I'm not.
Yeah,
Somebody
what's
says
up?
Cleve. Somebody says Cleve. Is that a beer? You know that's a sin. No, dog. This is Diet Sam's Cola, dude. Peak.
Don't you
Sam's
ever
Cola.
accuse him of sin. We would never drink beer. I've never done that on live.
Dude,
All right.
I pray 25 hours a day, dude. I pray on my knees in broken glass 27 hours a day with my eyes wide
do
open,
28.
staring into a flickering
I do
candle.
28. I do 28.
Okay.
I'm not trying to diss. I do 28.
Well, you're just way more pious than me. You're way more pious and humble. You're like the most pious and humble guy I've ever met.
And
All right, well, I don't mean to, I don't mean to brag, but like, I'm kind of 29 for me, but that's just.
What? I don't believe you. Nobody does 29. Dude, you're bragging.
Since the Nativity Fest started, I haven't eaten a single piece of food.
Whoa! That's kind of amazing. Well, when the Nativity Fest started, I actually started throwing up food that I had ate the day prior because I was like, that's not pious for me to be digesting during the fast. I don't know if you guys don't do a pre-fast to every fast because I do triple whatever the fast is as a pre-fast before every fast. You guys don't do that? Oh,
Well,
you
you know
guys
what?
don't
I do
that?
that. Yeah.
I didn't
You know
know
what?
guys
You know
were
what though?
pious.
You know what though? I'll one up that because I'm just a little more pious and humble. I think.
Oh, okay.
Today I actually threw up 6 or 7 times. So
6, 7. 6, 7. Okay, look, I don't mean to sound pious, but every single morning I throw up whatever I ate the night prior, and it was fast-friendly food. Then I do that to prepare myself to never eat again because I plan to be the first man to be on IV forever and never eat.
That's true.
I will function as if I'm in a coma so that I can out-pious every single one of you lowlifes. You're beneath me. That's how they sound to me, dude.
I'm so pious that I'm not going to tell you guys about what I do. How about that?
Ooh. I like the allure of that one. That one's very alluring. It's like, bro's secretly pious. That's crazy, dude.
I'm obscure.
Bro's so humble though. Bro, I can tell you're humble from that, dude. There's so much humility. I don't know where to start with that. The other Paul, when I make it big and married with kids, my wife and children's faces will never be a mile of my camera's content.
Smart.
Epic, massive, true. Let's get back to the debate for a second here. Oh, wow, dude. That's not what I meant to do. I kind of like this because it makes me really way bigger than you guys because I have the biggest heart because I'm the most pious. So I kind of like the way that it makes me look.
But I'm the most humble though,
vain.
because I said that I'm not telling you guys anything, so I'm actually the most humble.
But I'm also not vain, so I'll let everybody share here.
I'm not bothered by the fact that he says things that offend people. That's great. We're going to get into what I am bothered by in just a minute.
No, I don't care that he defends people. I just care that he offends me. That's his position.
Okay, so some people need to be offended. If you listen to Jesus is My Boyfriend songs at church every weekend, you're probably going to be offended by real prophets. So I have no problem with my worldview allows for harsh words in their proper time. However, applying the Bible to our conduct is not feminine sensibilities. And I remind everyone again, this is the topic that he asked for. So if he wants to keep saying that I'm sermonizing and I'm tone policing, he's the one who asked me to debate. Yes, I did send a tweet that challenged him after he initially challenged me to a debate, and I can post all the screenshots on my Twitter if you would like to see them. Okay, so now we have to define.
I don't believe in feminine sensibilities, but I can post the screenshots on my Twitter.
Dude, X is such a cesspit, man. It's it's crazy that I'm saying that because I normally do apologetics on TikTok, so I have no room to talk. But I know it's awful, but at the same time, it's the easiest way to get open discussions, man. I mean, it's so easy.
Yeah, nobody debates on YouTube anymore. It seems like
nobody debates on YouTube, and Twitter Spaces kind of suck. So I think you're kind of right to do that. I just hate TikTok, and I don't feel like using it. But I guess I have to start.
If you debate on TikTok, it's always something super niche. Like what did the Third Ecumenical Council Canon 3 Section 2 say about whatever. It's always something super narrowed down and niche. And it's always with somebody who doesn't show their face on cam. I don't understand that. What is the appeal? What is the appeal of watching that? That just seems
To
boring. To me.
to absolutely epically own you. That's why.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's for maximum moggage.
Exactly, because if you don't show your face, you're
which one of
mogging.
us is closer. First of all, there's masculinity. Masculinity, pretty obviously, is manliness. It is things which are distinctly male, things that are distinct or more prevalent or more commendable in males rather than females. And I would say Andrew wins when it comes to the beard. By the way, I give him that. I love his beard. It's awesome. I hope one day I can have a beard like that.
I love your beard, Andrew.
I love your beard. Yeah, okay. He like tries to be cute and funny throughout, and it's like, dude, you suck. You suck, dude. Oh my gosh.
In the masculine
Mario,
physical realm,
I'm a little more biased than you. I think he's actually just a little misunderstood, you know. I think we need to show him grace. We need to really approach him in a very gentle and ironic way.
Actually, I think he's being like really genuine right now. Like he's like really genuine, and he's like sharing how he feels. And like
you are displaying rotten fruits right now by judging him. Don't you know you're not supposed to judge anyone ever in any context ever? And if you do, you're evil and you're a bigot, and I hate you. And you're going to
unless somebody says a bad word, in which case they must step down, delete their social media.
It's true.
Register into an asylum immediately for transgressing against evangelical Karen law.
There was actually
the scripture.
There was actually a guy, a Protestant guy, when I was at freaking DebateCon, because I did the surrounded thing, so I got to debate Daniel Hakikachu, and freaking there was a Protestant guy that was part of the panel with me, and his Daniel's argument basically was that modern Christianity is only teaches love and peace, so then therefore Islam is better because there's things like blasphemy laws and all these kind of things. And I was the one that went up there, and I was like, this isn't a real critique against historical Christianity, by the way, so I don't know how you can somehow say that Islam is better than Christianity off of this, because, like, first off, traditional Christianity is becoming a lot bigger now. So, like, this whole modern critique thing that you're making is absolutely ridiculous. And then after the argument that I had was over, the Protestant guy then went up right after me and then was like, oh, I'm going to be the Christian that's going to say that that's wrong. And I'm just like, dude... Because I was like, yeah, like, you know Saint Justinian? I was like, blasphemy laws, death penalty. I was like, all that stuff happened. I was like, it's part of the empire, dude. Like, I don't.
Dude,
like,
evangelicals, like, no offense, I love you guys, but please, when an Orthodox Christian is talking, shut up. You just undo whatever we just did. You know, just shut up. Shut up. If you're worried about our tone, then I don't know, ghosting oceans in your car or something. We don't feel like talking to you.
Man, that song's kind of heat sometimes, though.
Yeah, true. It's kind of heat, low key. I should start using oceans as my background music for my intro. I need a non-copyright version of like synth pads. Sincere Hypocrite says, why can't these people argue about their positions without ever being passive aggressive or making upper-handed remarks about how the other person is evil? Because that's all they have. They have no argument, so they must do that. That's all it is.
Sincere, that's because you're just not pious enough. You see, they're so humble that you think they're underhanding you.
Absolute Cinema. We just got Thomas Hall as a member. He's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. He's good at, like, when I do a debate or something, like, he has like actual insights as to what I could do better, and he presents it in a very like easy to understand way because I'm like low-key retarded. And so when I see his comments, dude, like, bro actually helps me get goated with the sauce. So we're gonna do
stop lisping. Stop lisping, Mario.
We're going to give him some applause because Thomas Hall's W, friend of the show. Absolute Cinema. Absolute Cinema. Okay, let's get back to this freaking guy.
We would all agree on these traits. Andrew and I would agree on these traits. Men are stronger. Men are more aggressive, where women are more conciliatory. Men are more violent, both for good and for evil, than women are. Men are designed and called by God to hold positions of authority, as opposed to women. Men work. They're designed to work. Skilled labor, for example, the skilled trades. Women make up less than 5% in the skilled trades. So there are many physical aspects that men are different than women. Andrew and I would agree on those things. That's not what we're arguing about. So I'm not saying that I am more or less physically masculine than him. We agree on all that stuff. We agree on the definition of masculinity in the physical realm, I think. He can correct me if I'm wrong. The issue where the rub comes in is biblical masculinity. And so for me, my standard is scripture. Part of the reason that I want to have this discussion with Andrew, and part of the reason that
For me, my standard is scripture. You've never debated someone like me before.
brawl with him online is because he claims the name of Christ. So if he didn't claim the name of Christ, he'd just be another guy out there saying stuff, and a lot of it's good, and some of it I would.
Oh, by the way,
you know,
Cleve.
you move on with life. But the issue is, if you're going to be
My wife said you're always. My wife says that. Why are you always looking like you're aura farming? That's what she just said.
Because I am.
He is an aura farmer, like just naturally. He doesn't even have to try to mog.
I just sit
This is a
I
very
try to
hot topic right
flex
now.
on cam. That's all I do. I just try to like, just flex on cam. That's all I do. Somebody was saying if I tilt my head back and then I look at the camera that's an aura farm. I feel like I just look like the World of Warcraft guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta like show off your bling bling. Your bling bling. That's
Dang,
like,
I don't have any bling, but I have this right here. I have this W icon. W
Nice.
icon.
Actually, I actually have a crazy one. You guys keep going.
Ooh, let's see it. Oh yeah, I got to show you guys this guy again.
Hey, make me big screen for a second because you got to see all of it.
I'm like not that advanced to know how to do that.
You know how to make yourself that big though. What the heck, man?
There you go.
Whoa.
Oh, I like that
icon, dude. I love that icon, bro.
No ecumenism in that icon. No ecumenism in that icon. That's how we
Not
like
at
it
all.
around here.
I
Not at all,
like
dude.
the middle right.
The Muhammad's right here. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna need that icon at some point. That's a W icon.
Yeah,
I love that
it's a oh gosh, it's in here. The Dormition Skeet 2006 icon.
That's so
W.
based.
Love
So
it.
based.
Love it. Absolute cinema icon.
And there are shots being fired in all directions on this topic. So, what is a Christian? A Christian is someone who's reflective of scriptural standards in Christ's person. The Bible is my standard. That is what I will be arguing from and inviting Andrew to interact with. I would begin by asserting that all universal Christian commands are a part of Christian
It's piety time.
masculinity. So, if you're going to be a Christian man, a man who models Christianity, then all commands that apply to all Christians would also apply to you. So, for example, the fruits of the Spirit would be part of Christian masculinity. However, there are also commands in Scripture that are specific to men. For example, to love and sacrifice for their wives, to honor and understand their wives, to exercise self-control, to provide for their families, to be dignified, to submit to authority, and to demonstrate strength and courage, to list some of them. So Scripture directs masculine virtues and rebukes masculine vices as it does with feminine ones. So, for example, Scripture would lead us to rebuke feminism. Scripture would lead us to rebuke rebellious and loud and nagging wives. Well, amen. We should do that. Andrew does that often, and I'm glad that he does.
We should do that, but we should like really never emphasize that and pretty much only go after whenever guys say potty words. Like
This guy's killing me, dude. This guy is making my soul die.
Let's put him on double time speed and wait for him to interact with Andrew. We'll just shut up for a bit and we'll put him on double time speed.
Can we just like skip his opening segment and like get into where Andrew talks to him, because this guy's saying nothing.
Oh, do you guys mind if I read the super chats when they come in too?
Oh yeah, you can read yours. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ericoda for $2. Thank you very much. It says no amount of praying can fix Cleve's hairline. Thank you.
That's right. It's over. It's over. No, actually, that's actually a complete lie. God can heal my hairline. He actually can. So pray for my hairline, please.
Okay.
Spam W if you're gonna pray for.
Grow.
Do it now. Do it now. Pray right now.
Look, I'm always gonna look like Seth Rogen. I'm always gonna sound like Nick Fuentes. There's no saving me, and there might be no saving your hairline. But you know what's true? We can all be saved by Christ. Hey, youth pastor moment. I spin the chair around. Pretend I spun the chair around. Hey, sport. You can't save that hairline, but you can be saved by the blood of Jesus.
That's right.
W. Dude, was that reaching the heck in youth with that one? Dude?
Thank you, Pastor. When are we playing dodgeball?
Pizza. There will be pizza on Friday at dodgeball.
Oh.
The question is, are we going to apply the same standard to men? So that brings us to the practicals, which is what Andrew wanted to get into. Promised you that I would get here, Andrew. And I have references and or screenshots for most of these. So if anybody wants them, in fact, I may just make a Twitter thread later that has all the screenshots.
A minute, open a statement, and I will start your time as soon as you begin to speak.
And I'm about to get banned from the internet after this opening.
Yeah, so I'm not on my my normal rig here, so bear with me. It's interesting. One thing that Gabriel should probably add to his timeline is how I predicted exactly what he would do. These aren't even criticisms. So what he wanted to do is do what's called audience hijacking. He wanted to have a lot of people on him because he has this little teeny tiny blog. So he was baiting for debate. These are the weakest criticisms I've ever heard. But you know what? I take everything.
I looked at Bro's. Oh yeah, I'll also just like say some of the stuff he said. He mainly just read tweets. There was one where Andrew told someone to shut the F up. And then I think there was another where Andrew said, what was it? He said, Halo sucks balls or something. He said that. And so his critique is just these two tweets or something. And
You
he,
can't
like,
say that. You can't say that. You can't say balls.
yeah, bro, you can't say balls. It's like, why can't I say it? You're literally breaking my balls right now.
You can't say that, dude. You can't.
I can't say balls, but you're breaking mine. So what's
You
with that?
when you say that, you terrify me. I get scared. I get defensive. You put me in a self-defense situation, and you don't want to put me in a self-defense situation, okay? If you say that word around me, brother, it's going down.
Mario, you got to pull up my cleave to hairline comment a bit up in the chat. It's gold. Can you just re-say it? I'm too lazy.
Someone in my chat said that you sound like Jesse's friend from Breaking Bad.
Dive right into it.
Oh, Beaver or Bratty or whatever his name is. I get that guy all the time too.
Yeah.
I sound like him or I look like him. I can't remember.
Oh, you sound like him. Someone said you look like Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's more on brand. I normally get sound like, look like. Okay, that's good.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to look like Beaver. I don't want to look like Seth Rogen either, but what are you going to do?
One of the biggest problems with this debate is getting to the idea of
Also, I kind of want to feed the trolls because I like the comments on my algorithm. Do not call me. I have an announcement to make. Do not call me Seth Rogen in any comment. And do not say I sound like Nick Fuentes. I freaking don't. I don't. Literally.
What's the next thing I was going to reference?
Well, yeah, it's, these people, they think they're original. Hey, you're not original. I get this all the time. I've been getting it for 7 years. 7 years. I've been getting it for 7 years. How dare you? They hear like a non-Southern accent and they're like, oh, you sound like Nick Fuentes. I don't sound like Nick Fuentes! I'm trying to get a good clip there. I'm sorry. That's kind of astroturfed, but I want to get a good clip.
That was a clip farm chat.
Yeah, anything for the grift, though. I love grifting. I'm a grifter. I love grifting. I hecking love grifting. I need a t-shirt that says I freaking love grifting. That'd be so funny. I get that shirt with the I have autism, please be patient hat, and then I go live. That's hilarious. Okay, anyhow, back to this.
what biblical masculinity or femininity even is. The reason for this is the Bible isn't actually particularly clear on the specifics of the concept because it didn't really need to be. And we use these concepts of modernity kind of the wrong way. My opponent will likely try to use scripture, as he did, for deed to make these determinations about these concepts, but he will fall into a basic philosophical error when it comes to his epistemology. Deeds themselves wouldn't identify this concept very well. The reason is virtues are all shared. They're universal. All of them. He can point to his Christology and embody the virtues of Christ as being virtues which would be considered masculine, which he did. But those virtues apply as much to women as they do men, so it doesn't go anywhere.
6, 7.
He can't name a single one that doesn't. He can appeal to femininity, but that brings us right back to the same problem and ends up being question begging. He can perhaps tie femininity to childbirth and motherhood, but I assume he expects feminine virtues out of women who can't have children and are not mothers. So he didn't do a very good job explaining anything about biblical masculinity or femininity. I'm not even sure what he means when he says biblical masculinity, and while he will likely use his entire 10-minute opening to dazzle us with sermonizing nonsense, he did. We probably aren't going to be any closer to...
Bro, Octavian is mogging freaking Pope Respecter over here. We have a bunch of Pope abandoners / inquirers in the chat. They know where home is. Dude, absolutely.
Become
Yeah,
orthodox.
Drum roll for the super chat. We love to
I'll
see
do
it.
that.
Thank you
I've
for
seen you do that.
participating, all you guys.
Look, if anyone's inquiring, this is the only thing that you need to know. Become orthodox now. That's
Dude,
it.
the Aquinas cut comment, I love that. You really should. I think you should do it for a stream for the Aura
It would
Farm.
be impossible for me. It's like a donut right across. What am I going to have a donut just all the way up here? That doesn't make any sense.
Coping, you're coping. Octavian mogs you. Cry harder. All right, we're gonna get back to the stream. Sorry.
having these things actually pinned down. We aren't. Next, it's important to note whatever criticisms he has of me are likely just lies.
That's a funny one.
Representations, and by the way, all of them are. He didn't look into, and all of this is literally audience hijacking in hopes he could peel some off by making claims, which I will now shred one by one. But before we get to that,
It's freaking
I'll
dope.
save that for last. I'd also like to point out here that my opponent has the burden of proof for both position I'm not biblically masculine, and even better, that he is. I have no burden to demonstrate these things to him or against him, as both claims are his and not mine. I'm not obligated to define his terms for him or obligated to be charitable at all to his worldview with appeals like, come on, bro, you know what I mean. No, in fact, I don't know what you mean.
That's funny. It's not Andrew. He's not smoking, guys. Okay, I have the two of you here. We need to discuss something right now because of the super chat. What is the greater evil that Andrew Wilson does?
True.
Is it the fact that he says the frick word?
Yeah.
No, Smoky Man bad.
No. I disagree. I think it's the F word because smoking's bad. It kills your lungs, but when you say the F word, it kills your soul. Hey, Bryce, look at me. Bryce, look at me. I'm talking to you, man. When you smoke a cigarette, that hurts your lungs, but when you say the F word, that hurts your souls. I want you to remember that, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I want you to remember that because it's a little more pious.
Yeah, I'm not a smoker. I'm just a dirty pouch user, bro. I don't be smoking.
Oh, well, that's still a grave sin because it could cause lip cancer or something.
Nuh-uh. There's no tobacco in them. Nuh-uh.
No, actually, experts say.
Name one.
All of them. There's a consensus. All the experts say it. Tovia Singer, he says it.
Tovia Singer. Yeah. Tovia Singer.
Sam Shimon says it. That's true.
Bart Ehrman says it.
Yeah. My mom.
Mike Levin. Do you need any more experts or should I keep going? Hey, I'm talking to you, punk. You want me to keep going, Bryce?
I mean, I think you got enough, dude. I concede, man. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to be the
yeah. After you said Tovia Singer, dude, I conceded. I mean, like that's enough for me, bro. Like, oy vey. My apologies.
Kiss the ring, though. You got to kiss the ring because I'm the new debate champion. Because nobody comes to me and talks about experts. I know experts.
Fair enough, dude. My apologies.
That's all good. Honestly, after that, I can tell that you're humble and pious like me. So honestly, out of the forgiveness and shit, I'm gonna whoa! Oh no!
Over.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Should I close the live? Oh my gosh! I swore did. I'm sorry, everybody.
I can't believe that. Mario. I actually believe right now because you said a bad word in my presence, and like I'm so holy. If you say a bad word near me, it taints me. It like turns me into like
I just killed my soul.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm
corrupted version of me that I don't like. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna have to make an expose of Mario at this point. Cleve, hey, tell you what, you and me, we're gonna make a video together exposing Mario because this dude's ridiculous.
I just killed my soul, dude. I can hear the Vatican Catholic theme song. Eastern schismatic, Eastern quote Orthodox apologist Christian Mario says the S word on stream.
Now we could tell, based off of this, that he is possessed by demons. This is demonic doctrine.
I'm going to tell you how the Eastern quote Orthodox did Pearl Harbor.
Okay, I want to have one more piety debate, though. Who's more biblically masculine, me or Bryce J?
I am.
Bryce J.
I am.
And you use pouches. And yet you use pouches.
I don't need it. Dude, I'm more biblically masculine. All right. I'm the breadwinner. That's all it is. My wife stays at home, takes care of the kids. Super trad and epic and based.
Hey, I'm not married yet. I'm not married until February.
I'm automatically more based and trad than you then.
Well, St. Paul says he wishes all could be like him, unmarried. And technically, I'm more like St. Paul than you right now because I'm not married until February. So for the next 2 months, I am more pious than you. And not just that, little bro, but I don't do your little stupid pouches because I don't believe in addiction.
Oh, I don't believe in addiction either. I just do them. I can quit whenever I want.
I can quit whenever I want.
Don't you ever disrespect Hillsong in my chat. If anybody disrespects Gavin Ortland or Hillsong, I will be very stern with you, and you will get a very stern talking to. And where's your fruit, Bryce? Talking about...
Where's my fruit?
Yeah, where your fruit at, pimp?
In my pocket. I'm chilling.
You ain't got no fruit, pimp.
I do. I just don't show it because I'm so pious.
Show me your fruit.
Why would I do that? I hide my fruit because I'm so humble, bro.
You think you're humble by not showing me your fruit, but it's because you don't have any.
Well, you're accusing me of that, though. Take the log out of your eye, brother.
Bro, but the reason why I can have the log in my eye is because
you're so humble.
I'm self-aware of the log, And so I must point out your spec out of love for my brother. And I'm willing to fall on my own sword. Fall on my own sword optics-wise by conceding that I'm more prideful than you, which is actually more humble. Yeah, I've got a log in my eye, and by conceding that, I am more humble. Who wins now? I mug you.
Yeah, but your desk can't do this.
I'm the most pious in the room. I'm the pious in the room. I'm going to get pious up in here.
Yeah, how easy that was? You just got aura farmed beyond belief just now.
Oh, yeah, you think that was good? I can do that too. Oh, it didn't go as far. I'm the pious in the room.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what? Look at this. Check this out.
What?
Hold on.
What? Your desk turns.
Whoa.
Huh?
Whoa.
True patristic faith said, why is Cleve so handsome?
Dude, Cleve, why do you look that good, dude?
Dude, I don't know. I was just born this way, I think.
You could cause people to stumble for real, though.
Oh, dude, I'm not biased anymore. It's over.
Octavian says Hillsong has more trad music than the Vatican. Can I get a freaking truth nuke on that one? No, actually, the Vatican only. Okay, no, I'm going to drop a massive truth nuke. A lot of you guys aren't prepared for this. And clip this and post this so the Catholics see it. Hey, Catholics, I'm talking to you. You rip off the worst of Protestant music. You literally Google shittiest evangelical song, and then you do that at your bogus ordo, dude. You guys don't have motion. You don't know nothing about, oh, come to the altar. You don't know nothing about that real evangelical creed, bro.
Hold me now.
I'm 6 feet from the edge and not the end. Look, a Catholic could never be Switchfoot. The evangelical mogs you, little bro. And the evangelical will be bigger than you one day. And America's going to be Orthodox. St. Paisios said it. I believe it. Now what? Now what? Right. Now what, bro? Where's your Paisios? That's a good line. Shout out that priest that said it. And I'm going to give you a big, epic gong for that one. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, my camera didn't even pick it up.
Not true at all. Not true at all. Yeah,
there is one thing the evangelicals don't have that the Roman Catholics have over them, okay? They don't have the clown mass, okay? It's pretty epic. Trad Chungus there. You have to have your clown mass. I saw a video. They were doing the Eucharist in a big soup bowl, a big salad bowl, actually, with a bunch of clowns stirring it up. Evangelicals don't have that.
Stir it up. Let's get this going here. Let's show everybody a clown mask, bro.
What is even going on in the debate? Is it over? I'm kind of over. I want to see Africans eating grass. That's what I want to see, the African charismatic eating grass. Did you? I loved when you pulled that up in the last stream. It was the charismatic African church. Go eat the grass. Eat quickly. Eat quickly.
Is there like any context to like why this was done in the first place? Like, what is this? I know that like it's obviously like a clown mask, but like, what was the point of it? Is there anything?
Well, did you hear what she said? She's being very deep, actually.
September 1st, 2002.
Back up just a little bit. You got to hear what she says, though. She's giving a good point.
Okay, I love my female clown homilies.
Not too far, but.
Clown cross. Some of you may be wondering, what is the connection?
Clown cross. What is the difference? Question of our generation.
It's a mix.
Laughing at God's church, by the way.
Thank goodness this isn't God's church, you know.
I know, right?
They're laughing at something that's big and pretends to be.
Was historically the most important name among professional clowns is Joseph Grimaldi.
Clown.
Now, Grimaldi lived in the early part of the 19th century, and
yeah, you really wanna claim that, bro? I can pull up a clown mask for you.
Yeah, pull up that. Pull up the chicken dance while they're doing the Eucharist. Did you see that? There was one where they were playing the chicken dance, and they had a clown clapping and singing the song while all of the women, extraordinary Eucharistic ministers were handing out communion. Which basically is just women deacons, by the way.
Yeah, they just don't call it that.
Orthodoxy does that too.
No, you're wrong. No.
Mario, you're solo tier, buddy. You're solo tier. Okay, then you should debate me. I'll debate you. What do you want to debate about? Whether or not clown masses are based?
That's a good debate.
I'll debate clown masses with you. The chicken one dance goes hard, by the way. Yeah, Truk. Yeah, too many people dissing. Why can't people admit it's kind of aura?
I like the Barney mass. Did you see that? The Barney mass, or he was
We
like,
got to do one mass at a time. Let me show Taylor Marshall showing the chicken dance first.
all right, let's go. Let's go.
Insanity.
Yeah, Pope Dyer actually gave me a really clear ex cathedra statement. Your Pope could never. My Pope gives the clearest ex cathedra statements ever. Proud Dyerite, by the way. Shout out Dyer. Alex says, can we please tag Need God so that I can piety signal him for 2 hours in a debate? Dude.
No, he's the king of that. You can't stop him.
If I get a Need God debate, I will just pretend to be more pious the whole time, and it'll be a massive troll. Nobody clip that. I don't want him to know. I'm going to try to get a debate with him, and then I'll just try to out piety him, and it'll just be a laugh at him.
You can't out piety that guy. You know that, right? That's not possible. Like he was molded by it.
I do the performative prayers, all of it, dude. He's just goated at it.
Well, you know, I put my faith in the word of God. You put your faith in men, these church fathers. It's Bible plus church fathers. Therefore, you're going to hell.
Brother.
That's it. That's it. If you listen to anything outside of the Bible, you're going to hell. Do not ever read a car repair manual. You're going to hell.
Hey,
Truth,
I
nuke,
don't
dude.
read anything. I don't know how to read. Now what?
Well, then you're very pious. You're on the right path.
Oh, looks like Jim Bob's live. You guys want to live react to his debate? And everybody, I don't want to steal his motion. So like his chat and super chat his chat. And if you're a real chat, you'll keep both live streams open. You'll get on your laptop and you'll go and like his and then keep mine playing too, because you're a real Ortho Chungus Ortho respecter. Okay. So I'm gonna need y'all to multitask. Can you guys keep up? Multitask. And we're gonna hop in over to see what Made by Jim Bob's doing.
Have you ever seen that guy, by the way? His name is A Messenger of Truth. He's a TikToker. Yeah. So, like, I love taking his videos and, like, chopping them into, like, bad contexts because, like, he says the funniest things sometimes, dude. Like, he literally will be like somebody will be like, we should be feeding the poor. And then, like, he'll go cut to him going, book, chapter, verse. Like, immediately, like, and then, like, because he's a Calvinist, right? So, like a hardcore Calvinist to the point where, like, there was actually one of them as well where he's like, we don't need to do anything for the poor. The poor don't deserve to be fed. They deserve death. And then it cuts out immediately.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Dude, yes. Dude, that's motion. I love that. Yeah, actually, what color is your Bugatti? I don't even help the poor. What are you talking about? I think it's just his pre-live thing. Somebody comment when he's actually live a Reno. And is he going right into the debate? I watched some.
I'm sure he is.
Last night, but I didn't get all the details as to. Are we going?
No, it's a 30 minute opening each.
Brother. Why, dude?
You just put the atheist one on mute, and then we can just we can just crap talk until then. Is atheism rational?
Oh, so she's gonna be.
Oh, there we go.
The Indian Jesus.
Minutes answering your questions from the chat. I'm gonna drop a live Q&A in my chat. You can put your questions in there, but super chats, PayPals, and Cash Apps will be getting priority. And if I see super chats come in from the other channels that are streaming from here that are questions, they're going to get priority as well. So if that fills up the 30 minutes, your question won't get answered. So if you want to make sure your question...
MW anxiety pen, we love it. Also, we're going to be a little bit behind Jim Bob, but I think that's okay. I don't care.
Gets answered, send it in a super chat. And then we'll make sure it gets read. And once the formal debate is done, we're going to open the doors to the community for a chaos and chill panel where anyone can hop in to challenge and question the debaters if they choose to stay, because that part is optional for the debaters. Today's debate prompt,
really fight for that.
Being an atheist is a rational position.
Okay, so the introduction is going to be like 4 more billion years here. So we get it. The blasphemous Indian guy is going to argue the sus and cringe and poo-poo side in the debate. Emphasis on poo-poo. And Made by Jim Bob will be defending the based Chad Ortho Chungus position. He's our strongest soldier right now. Look at his beard. He mogs.
He does.
That is true. I was just thinking that.
He definitely does.
I remember back when he was talking about, he's like, I'm going to start having a sleeveless shirt. Dude, aura. Love to see it.
We gotta go like sleeveless to support Jim Bob. Roll your sleeves up and just go.
Right, dude.
Just go sleeveless too to support him. Yeah, there you go. Ugh.
We gotta
show
Jim Bob. Support. Everybody like Jim Bob's stream, and everybody like my stream, and everybody like Bryce J's stream, because we're all disorganized as hell, but we all need
Right, that's right.
And watch me leave a like. I'm gonna do it right here. And I'm gonna like Bryce's, but I'm not gonna switch the live. I'm not gonna show you guys, but you guys just have to trust on that. And I'll show you. Look right here. Look, I left a like. You guys see that? I think he's yapping though. Let's
middle ground is possible, but there are different levels to this. We can look at the Richard Dawkins scale that is split into 7 degrees of belief. First being a strong atheist, where you don't question the existence of God, but claim to not just have
Dude, we can look at the Richard Dawkins list. Dude, we're starting off really bad here. That's bad.
a faith, but knowledge of God. And 2 is de facto, where you don't know for sure, but you strongly believe, as I would imagine most are. 3 would be weak theist, where you're uncertain, but you're more inclined to believe.
You're kind of uncertain,
is
but
pure agnostic. And this is the 50-50 way that
I don't really care about this guy.
4, or 5 would be the pure, would be the weak atheist. Where
is he okay? Is he okay?
Weak atheist. 5. What do you guys think about 5? Like, dude has overdosed on Reddit, and bro probably plays Roblox.
Is this guy okay too? Because like he's like freaking spurging a little bit already, and yet like Jim Bob hasn't even said anything yet.
Yeah, let's hear what he's saying here.
Just getting
God
mogged.
does not exist.
We're sending all
this means that only a very small minority of people that actually.
We're sending the sleeveless energy to support Jim Bob, so he's just getting psyched out by our aura.
We're radiating sleevelessness.
That's right.
Jim Bob, if you can hear me, Jim Bob, if you can hear me.
They embody this level.
Jim Bob, please save us.
And they usually have blue hair, and you can find them screaming on lives at TikTok. I don't have any numbers on this, but I'd be willing to bet that most people who fall are 3
epic
or
right
higher
trad
on that
atheism,
scale, for better or worse, simply do not have religion or God in their head unless it's directly brought up. This is an important distinction to make.
Okay, massive super chat. $2. Bro, God deleted my comment to debate Alex. Ha ha ha! He's scared. He's scared. Keep running, platypus boy. You can't hide forever. Keep running, platypus.
It's not working, dude. I got crazy tan lines, man. You see this? I never roll my sleeves up.
Nah, dude, it's good. It's good. You just gotta roll it up.
Based terminally
And then it's really
good.
Dude, my shoulders are just so massive, dude. It just hurts. I'm sorry.
That's what it
is.
is.
Bro's got the most masculine shoulders ever. Pause.
As I am an agnostic atheist. I would fall probably somewhere between the 5 and 6 on that scale, and that means I am not making any claims. I am merely unconvinced
you fall
of the
between
existence
6
of
and
any
7?
God or gods. Gnostic here means knowledge. Theist means a theistic God, and A is a prefix that means without. Agnostic, atheist, without knowledge, without belief. It simply means I don't know, but I am unconvinced. So
Atheist. Why does he keep atheist?
I think that as an atheist, I'm like somewhere between a Dawkins scale between agnostic and also like being a hardcore atheist. I think I'm somewhere in the middle.
I'm not a libtard atheist. I'm a epic trad atheist.
I'm a trad, like I don't really know atheist. I mean, like you never debated someone like me. I'm just not certain about anything, and I only argue from a position of incredulity the entire time and make no positive claims. And then I try to sit there and nitpick your worldview, and I go, "But I don't really believe anything, though, so you can't critique me." Dude,
do that Matt Dillahunty impression where you're like, I'm just not convinced. I'm just not convinced.
I'm just not convinced that my girlfriend is a man. Now, you might argue that she was born biologically male, but you see, I'm not convinced that that is the case. If it is the case, then no one has shown me yet. And look, I'm looking at the data. I'm trying to see it, but I'm not convinced
And guess what? You can't convince me either that she is a man.
That's good. I love that. That was a great parody you did, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'll show that one again at some point to my epic new audience, because I got a lot of new audience members. Let's get back into this debate. I know we're not missing anything. This guy's when Jim Bob speaks, we listen and learn. By the way, there will be no pausing. We will listen and learn.
Position. I was going to do a deep dive on some of the philosophy that was balls deep in when I last studied this stuff 15 years ago, but
we can talk about the philosophy I was balls deep in. I was balls deep in, guys, into the philosophy. I'm like edgy and I say like gross things, and I'm like edgy, guys. Dude,
I can't stand it. If somebody says balls around me, I'm just gonna snap.
Hey! Balls is the unforgivable sin. It's the second worst thing under the F word, and the third worst thing under dancing, and it's the fourth worst thing under smoking or chewing or going out with girls that do. That's the worst thing you can do.
Listen, pal, there's one thing I cannot abide. When you say no words around me, it taints my soul, and that's unforgivable.
Hey, listen, mother stinker. When you start swearing, it gets my stinking blood pumping.
That's right.
Mother trucker, dude.
Hey, mother stinker, you start swearing around me, it gets my blood pumping.
That's right.
I'm liable to catch a body.
You better shut your mouth when you're talking to me, boy.
Boy, you start saying that damn near F word. It's gonna be a tussle between you and me here now. Well, we're gonna start fighting here. You say the F word near me, I'll damn near kick your ass. You say the F word, you better not say that to me. Oh, wait, whoops, he wouldn't say ass, I guess. No, he's like comfortable with every other cuss word, but just not the F word. It's like, yeah, no, you can swear, you just can't say the F word. Based? I don't know. Can you guys hear me and stuff? Are you guys still there?
Yeah, dude.
No, you're gone, dude.
My stuff ain't staying up, man.
ADHD
Not letting me.
Didn't even get Andrew's opening. Love you guys. This is the ADHD show. That's what we do here. And drum roll for Octavian. I'm gonna let my
works good, man.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get back to this debate here.
They're about to fall off, man. My freaking arms are about
Bob
to
is
fall
clearly
off.
better at that than I am, and is way more familiar with the specifics of different schools of thought and all that stuff. So given he asked for this debate after I was last here talking about my religious positions, I would hope he's here for an interesting exploration of our ideas instead of getting some technical metaphysical point to hang his hat on. My rational position, I'm simply claiming that it is not crazy or insane to be unconvinced of the existence of a God. I'm not making any grand metaphysical claims about the basis of reality. I'm simply saying it's not irrational for one to be unconvinced. Atheism is not a belief. It's not an ideology. It doesn't have a perspective or a worldview. It is merely the answer to one question.
Oh, he's going to get steamrolled.
It's not a position. It's not even a position. It's a lack of a position.
It doesn't exist.
Oh my gosh, bro.
It's not a position. It's a lack of action.
I can't stand the people that do things like this.
This
Literally
is
that. Incarnate, bro.
This is bro. That's rough. That's really rough. I don't like that one bit, bro.
Incarnate.
Do you believe in God? If the answer is anything other than yes, one is an atheist. Perhaps by the end of this debate, Jim Bob will have converted me to Christianity. That would not make my current position irrational. The debate is not whether atheism is
Bro, him and Two Speed is miserable to listen to, bro.
Grew up without a direct religious influence.
I kind of love it.
Don't think about this stuff. Are all insane, or he can simply provide proof of God. I, however, do not need to show that I can prove that God doesn't exist. Again, that's not what I believe. And two, I would not have accepted that debate because I can't do that. I don't even really want to be debating religion, as I think politics is far more relevant to everyday people. And the right wing is pushing away people who uphold conservative values just as well, if not better, than
religion influences politics, you freaking goober.
We all get lumped in together with the militant atheist stereotype. Now, I don't even blame anyone for having those associations with the word atheist. But the fact of the matter is, I am proof that it's not the atheism that rots one's brains. It is the lack of spirituality that leads to all the feminism, woke, liberal, hedonistic ideas that all of us here hate. There are many positions that are irrational that happen to be held by a lot of atheists. And I'm sure on many of those we'll agree. But the simple fact of being unconvinced is a correlate, not a causation. I don't feel that that you only know through faith is the only rational position. I have much respect for Christians, Christianity, and Christian ethics, and I would actually like to help push these things further in society and to new people who don't already believe it. But this here is a necessary discussion as people like Jim Bob and the Crucible crew.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, your name is the Indian Jesus.
This is horrible.
Well, dude, Jim Bob will mog. Let's just skip him. We know it's like generic retard stuff. Okay, here we go.
I don't have to prove anything. Did you like that? That was his opening. Is basically I don't have to debate literally anything because I believe nothing.
Guys, I'm really incredulous. I'm somewhere between a 6 and a 7 on the Richard Dawkins scale, and I really don't really have any position. My position is just that we don't need religion, but it's not a position. It's more of like just the plain reading of the facts. It's a brute fact that we don't need religion.
The plain reading of the facts. I
It's
like
the
how
plain
you
reading
mix.
of the facts, guys. Nothing's interpreted according to any sort of paradigm. It's just completely.
He's an atheist Protestant, bro. He's an atheist
Do
Protestant.
they argue the same way? Trent Horn was right to say that, dude. You were right, Trent Horn. But back, rare Mario being ironic to Jim Horn moment.
For the Jim Bob, and Jim Bob, whenever you're ready, I'll start the timer up with you, boy.
All right, thanks.
heck yeah.
Yeah, the question of tonight is whether the position atheism is a rational position. My opponent opened up by making ambiguous the difference between atheism and agnosticism and trying to pair them together. To be clear, atheist is a person who disbelieves. This is an active position in the existence of God or gods.
True.
Agnostic is a person who believes that nothing is known or could be known about the existence of nature of God. So they're kind of just holding a naive approach. Maybe they'll investigate it. Maybe they'll be convinced. To hold both of them together is not the topic of the debate. But either way, if you take an atheist approach or you take an agnostic approach, you have some of the same problems here. He says he's not convinced, which is a non-position. However, it's actually not a non-position. When you dig deeper, it turns out even the statement "I'm not convinced" assumes a bunch of things. It assumes that there's a person there. This guy. There's me, another guy. Can you mute yourself? You're typing. Convinced assumes that their persuasion is possible, and we're not just mechanical devices made of biological structures.
I'm typing on my computer into ChatGPT. A really good response. Okay, so he said that I assumed a bunch of stuff. How do I say I didn't? And that I don't have a position, ChatGPT. Can you say that in like a condescending and sort of smug way? Also, I have a really cartoonish watch that makes it look like I work at GameStop or something.
Dude, it's Ferrari, man.
Hey, what color is your red watch? Got an Andrew Tate mog. Hey.
I got the best type of watch there is. It's an eternal watch.
Oh!
No.
Truth, noob.
Piety maxed.
Piety
You just got piety
maxing.
mogged.
Piety maxing.
You're assuming truth exists. You're assuming some sort of epistemic system to determine which beliefs are rational and which aren't. You're assuming rationality and reason and logic. These are all things you have to assume to even question whether something's rational or not. I would say atheism cannot even justify the term rational, what it is to be rational. In fact, if you hold an atheist position and you hold the position that you're merely a nominal biological machine, then each person has their distinct set of patterns that you would.
And like, dude, it's no surprise that like the atheism that came out of Scotland, which was Calvinist, is this very deterministic atheism. They all believe that you basically have no sort of control over the outcomes. It's all genetically baked in. And they believe this. They believe that genetics are everything while inconsistently saying that they also mean nothing. As soon as you apply any sort of hierarchy to men or women or race or anything like that, they immediately run from the implications of their own position. Which is why when you're Christian, we just don't have to believe any of that because that's not our worldview. Like genetics are just a piece of the pie. But when you're Orthodox, it's like, no, I mean, having a high IQ really doesn't mean anything about your value because from an Orthodox point of view, you don't need to be smart to be a saint. There are clairvoyant saints that said more important things than pretty much anybody else alive could ever say. And they didn't have to be high IQ. You know, so it's just we have a totally different paradigm where like they really can't account for, you know, IQ disparities or, you know, genetic realities of why some people die of certain diseases or this and that. It's all just completely unfair and random. Whereas for us, it's like, you know, Christ makes sense of the inequality. It's like sin introduced defects and problems for all of us that we all are all dealing with. And so in Christianity, it's the only ideology, and it's not an ideology. It's not merely an ideology. Orthodoxy is not an ideology. It's reality. But in the colloquial sense, ideology that can account for how cruel and devastating reality would be if atheism was true. And that's an appeal to emotion, but that's all they ever do.
It's funny too when they have that determinist view, because like then they're sitting up here debating. Like, dude, I was determined to believe in God, bro. Like, I don't understand like why you're trying to convince me otherwise, man. Am I determined to listen to you as well? Like, am I determined to believe?
Here's the thing. According to Richard Dawkins, we don't have free will, but we can pretend we do, by golly. And so I'm pretending that I do. And I'm debating because I like it. And
Alex
it
O'Connor.
always gets back to preferences with them. Every freaking time. It's always preferences. Let's watch Jim Bob continue to mog.
Call rational in the mind or in the brain, I should say. And so there isn't any universal called rational or non-rational. So in my opponent's opener, he didn't actually defend a position. He merely said, I'm not convinced. I could just as well say, well, based on your epistemic standard, I could say, I'm not convinced of your agnostic position, that not being convinced is a rational position. Convinced by what standard, right? What is it to convince you? Well, like I said, you're assuming a bunch of things have to be the case in order to be convinced, right? Are you holding a position that you're not just a cluster of atoms and molecules smashing together accidentally, uttering things from your mouth hole or from any other hole for that matter? Are we getting to something called truth? Is there something to get to? Is logic a thing in your worldview? I didn't hear anything. I heard a couple of non-positions, and then I heard a sort of affirmative political stance. Even if we got into the political avenue of this, an atheist position wouldn't be rational in making claims of what society should and shouldn't do. Atheism has no normative position on what we should or shouldn't do. In fact, it's all nominal again. It reduces to each person's individual wants and desires. And if someone wants to pursue the government and take a hold of its guns and deploy some sort of totalitarian regime, that would be completely consistent with atheism. So I'm not sure where he thinks he's going by appealing to traditional values. Which tradition? Traditional values. Which tradition is he referring to? Well, to be an atheist and to appeal to traditional values itself would be kind of contradictory. In order to reason, in believing in something that's worth believing in, and I'm wondering what my opponent is actually.
Dude, massive truth nukes being dumped everywhere. It's just insane levels of truth nukes. Cleve, are you getting EP, my friend?
Yeah, I'm a little tired, dude.
Because you've been streaming for hours. Whenever you need to go, don't worry.
Yeah, I'll give it maybe like 5-10 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Let's say I'll probably end up going to continue my stream as well eventually at that point, because I did promise to review a specific debate on TikTok that I got to look at as well. It's between Thewordwins and Ahmed Qureshi. It's a Trinity logicality debate.
Who is that?
They're both so Ahmed Qureshi is a goober. He's a Muslim pseudo, and then freaking Thewordwins is a pretty popular Trinitarian on TikTok, and I told him that I'd review his debate and stuff, so I also have to get that done before my thing, and I have a specific time to be able to stream with kids and stuff like that.
I don't know any of these TikTok guys at all. Like,
oh, you'll learn them. You'll learn them. It's all right. You just stay on long enough, you'll figure out who they are.
Presenting as a system. Is he talking about evidence? Is he going to say I need evidence to believe in God, and then you'll move me over? Just like being convinced, evidence itself has a whole slew of metaphysical assumptions that atheism cannot justify. So if it's the case that holding an atheistic position, which again is not what he said in his opener, the atheist position, to be clear, is a person who affirms, who holds a positive position that God doesn't exist, as opposed to an agnostic position, a person who believes that they just don't have enough information.
Ask Bryce when
that's
he's
agnosticism.
debating.
Atheism is a hard position which you're defending tonight.
Oh, you're debating Taco Talks?
Yeah,
am I?
You debating Taco Talks, dude?
I didn't know that I was gonna do that.
He's kind of a clown.
I mean, like I know him, and I've back and forth in the I've made videos back and forth with him before, but he doesn't go live very often, because the last time that he went live with this and debated this Roman Catholic dude named Jesus and whatnot. That's his.
Yeah, I remember that. Did he get mogged?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was so bad. It was so bad that he hasn't really went live since.
Was that when there was that thing that happened at that Catholic school and he refused to pray with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That was a mess.
Yeah,
that
it was bad.
Man. There's something.
No, he refused to pray. He refused to pray for him. That was the worst part.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that he refused to pray with them. It was that he refused to pray for them.
Which is weird.
There's something about the guy, like his pupils are way, way, way too big. It just looks scary to me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like his pupils take up most of his eye, and he's looking into the camera.
I'd love for that to happen, but I just doubt it, because
Alex, that's just not gonna happen, dude.
Because these guys are not willing to debate because they suck and they're dumb.
Also, I'm pretty sure Need God and Taco Talks disagree with each other. I'm pretty sure that Taco is a full-fledged non-denom, I hate all denominations thing, and Need God is a Baptist, so I don't think they would work well together.
I mean, it's hard for us to understand where they're different and where they agree, because it all sounds dumb to us. But yeah, they anathematize each other all the time.
He doesn't have to actually believe in atheism. In fact, he's based on interacting with him before. I don't think he actually does hold a strong atheist position. But for the sake of the argument tonight, I would probably recommend that he either abandons it and concedes to the debate, and we can move on to a different topic, or he just takes on and puts on the hat of atheism, hard atheism. You can't mingle your own personal naive approach to atheism. You have to actually take the position and argue if it's rational or not. So how do we determine what's rational is probably a good question. Based on or in accordance with reason or logic. Well, if atheism can't even tell you what reason or logic is, what its ontology is, how could an atheist actually tell you what's in accordance with reason or logic? Their own worldview denies that there's a universal reality to reason and logic. In fact, each of our brains operating exactly how they're determined to is completely consistent with their worldview. We would all have our own system of what's in accordance with reason or logic, because the only arbiter for truth is our own experience, period. Whereas a theistic view, a Christian view, would actually make a bigger claim and say, well, the ontology of reason and logic, things like rationality, the fact that we have faculties and a will to pursue the truth and debate about it, the fact that we believe that we can be convinced of things, that further in politics and our behaviors that we ought to operate a certain way, or the fact
can't
that
wait
we
for
think
the
that human beings
cross
have some
exam
sort of value such that we could make laws derivative of that
Hey,
assumption that we
totally,
value. An atheist view has
have you,
no justification for human value. In fact, from their
are they
worldview, they
there
can't even
yet?
really tell
Are
you
we
what human
behind
is,
in the
independent of if you
stream?
know them. In fact, for this rule, no words. You have to say some
where I believe the different philosophies that would give me a, what
What's the more
otherwise the
formal
definition of
debate?
atheist means that you
Oh, I think
affirm
they're doing
that God
rebuttals
doesn't
too,
exist.
bro.
Anybody, if you look at any public atheist published
I'll just
otherwise,
go to live.
atheism
just
has
go to-
no worldview. All these things you just say, the atheist perspective, the secular worldview, those are things other than the secularity, other than the atheism. And
I know. What are you gonna do? You
I
don't
can
agree on
see what's
anything.
All right. Thank you for that rebuttal. And we're going to hand the mic over back to Jim Bob. And whenever you're ready
You just
for
don't
your
understand the
rebuttal, Jim Bob, I'll start the
transcendental
timer up with your
argument.
voice.
Okay.
What's that, Cleve?
You just don't understand the transcendental argument.
You just don't understand, Ty. Like, the problem is you don't have any metaphysical, philosophical understanding, and it's like you approach everything like it's all brute facts, and like, dude, you don't understand. You're presupposing so many things. There's so many implications to what you're saying, and it's like you're in a performative contradiction right now. You don't even understand it.
Like, I don't even grant debating at all. I don't even grant you the ability to debate.
I don't grant you the concept of debating
I don't grant you the ability to speak even, actually.
until you can prove.
Not to be rude, but you suck.
You're just a goober, dude. You're just a goober.
W, I like that. Dude, you got to hit them with that. You got to precept them. You know, they hate it, but it is a good argument.
Yeah, what is your epistemic justification for knowledge and the ability to debate in the first place, you
Well,
goober?
that's right. You don't have one.
You don't have one. So then, therefore, I don't care about anything you say. I win.
Oh, man, now.
See, you just won the debate. I just won the debate.
I want to debate, bro. I view that as a concession. You debating is a concession to tag. Based? That's actually kind of based. Kind of true, actually. You can't account for a mind. You can't account for any of the things that would make it so you can debate. You can't account for words. I mean, wasn't it that that
You
one,
can't account for music either, meaning you can't account for the existence of creed without being a Christian.
You can't account for the creed I'm singing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the words that it constitutes.
What a mess.
Yeah, tight.
I'm gonna probably go freaking review my debate, y'all. This was fun. I enjoyed this.
I'll do a little bit more, and I'll probably be getting off in like 30 or so, because I don't want to steal too much of Jim Bob's shine, gang. I don't want to steal his shine.
Sure.
I didn't know he had anything going on. I can't keep up with how many ortho people there are. I can't keep up.
Yeah, I don't
You
really
could
have
probably-
I don't have a consistent schedule, if I'm gonna be real.
Now that you have enabled that setting, you probably send the live stream audience there when you're done, by the way.
That's what I'll do. I'll send all my Chad nerds, as Jay calls them, right over to Jim Bob to like, subscribe, and
It's a
more.
good idea.
But if you're on a stream right now and you liked this collab, did you guys like this collab? Was it a W collab? If you like the collab, you guys need to comment W in the comments after the stream ends. And you need to like and subscribe. If you're not liking and you're not subscribing, then help her get out of the way. What are you doing? What are you doing? The ortho chads need your help. Yeah, you. Oh, I won't super chat. Someone else will. You be the first. You be the change you want to see, Patriot.
Don't let that bystander effect take over, man. Be the
That
change.
bystander effect, bro, it's a B word. I would say the full word, but it's impious.
Mm.
And evangelicals would heckerino go crazy. But it's a B word, man, that bystander complex. Like, subscribe, and more. I'm going to send my chat on over to Jim Bob. We've been going at it 2 hours. I think this has been a good stream. And I don't want to steal his shine because he's a cutie patootie with tiny shoulders, but he's a good debater. He's someone to contend with.
Heck
If I
yeah,
can
man.
figure out how to send my chat over there, then I will. And honestly, no guarantees. I'm kind of a, I'm not going to say that again. I don't want to get banned, but I'm kind of stupid. I don't really know how to do that.
You gotta go to YouTube Studio, go to the live in YouTube Studio, and then click on customize, and then you can send it.
Yeah, but I'm going to look awkward while I do that.
It's all right. Just stare into the camera while you.
No,
Get
all
really
you
close.
guys all need to man up and manually go over there. I'm not figuring it out tonight. I worked all day. I'm tired. I've been streaming. I'm tired. Hey, yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. You manually do it. You manually do it. How about that? How about you manually do it? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay, guys. Thank you guys very much for coming on. It's been a great stream.
Do the Kanye stare into the camera.
Oh, I didn't know. Ooh. Here's another thing. I'm going to stay open for just a minute here. Send a super chat of what you want me to do next, what you want me to debate or review or whatever. And if you guys could find an evangelical to debate me, please do it. None of them will. They're all scared. They saw me cook Biblicia without even trying, unprepared, and now they're scared. And so I just feed me evangelicals. I'm hungry. I know it's the Advent fast, but feed me debates. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Keep it real.
Okay. Let me go ahead and fix my camera, guys. We are back to my own thing now. All right. There we go. That was a fun little collab out of nowhere. Let me sit back down. That's funny. Ugh. Anybody who's on TikTok, share the live to as many people as you can. I'm going to be reviewing a debate that people probably want to see. So yeah, send it out. I gotta find it now. Hopefully I can find it on YouTube. That was a ridiculously random thing that just happened, but hey, man. So let me go ahead and find it here. See if anybody recorded it. Oh, found it. The Christian Cope, as usual. At least I will give him that. He at least records everything, which is awesome. So I have the ability to go review something. Let me go ahead and reshare this live to. Oh, that's not what I wanted. All right, let me go ahead and fix this here. All right. That shit was loud. All right. So I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all, because we're listening to Ahmed Qureshi. I'm gonna need to probably write a bunch of shit down because he likes to say random crazy things, like all in a line, and I'm gonna have to like keep up with it because he says the most random things I've ever heard in my life. Let me go ahead and freaking just. Oh.
Coda 3590 super chatted $5. That all stared with me bitching in USC on their live about having to choose between them and you lol.
Oh yeah. That's funny. Not trying to be mean, but you suck. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5 again there. Yeah, man. You didn't you didn't give a scripture. Oh yeah. All right, do that. And then we'll invite freaking you. Let's see. I gotta find as many people as possible. Hey, Word, I see that you're in here. If you want to invite people to this, I haven't started it yet. I was in the middle of some kind of collab thing just now, but I'm done now, so now I can review this. Ahmed's voice is insufferable, I will give you that. So this is going to be a pain in the ass to review, but hey, we're going to have fun anyway with it, right? It's going to be hilarious. Let me just grab as many people as I know in my list here. That should be good. Yeah. Boom. I just shared it to like a stupid amount of people as well. I guess W collab. You hope you guys do more. Yeah, dude, that was out of nowhere, man. Just for absolutely no reason, someone just came in and said, "Hey, join Mario's stream," and I'm like, "Oh, what? Okay, cool." Freaking him and Cleve are just in there, shooting the shit with each other. The word wins, by the way. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that he wins. I haven't gotten to see the word wins very much, do debates, but I've heard good things about him. That's the thing. So that's why I'm excited to at least watch this, and I'm excited because it's easy to be entertained by Ahmed Qureshi. He's kind of like a jester, He's like the Islamic jester. He's like the guy that you just debate because it's just fun, not because like you actually want to like beat a Muslim in a debate. Like you debate him because like he's good practice to like debate real people. That's usually kind of how I approach him. That's why I normally don't actually bring him up here when I'm doing open debates. What is the word wins? Is he EO? I have no idea. I am not sure. I don't know. He's in the chat, I think. I have to ask him. But he's inquiring. Okay, based. That's all I need. At least he's inquiring. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll get started. I'm excited because I love listening to Ahmed Qureshi. Thank you for the subscription there, Alfaro. I think it is Alfaro. Appreciate that. I love listening to Ahmed Qureshi. Dude, like, hear me out, man. Like, he's entertaining. I'm not saying that I like listening to him because he's smart. I like listening to him because he's entertaining. He's like a jester. You like watching a jester not because they're smart. You listen to a jester because they're funny. Right? That's why we do that. Let's get started here.
The Eastern Orthodox view, based on an eternity, infinity, and the principle of sufficient reason.
Hey, yo, debating. Oh, dude. Frick, man. He straight up said, I'm doing the Eastern Orthodox view. That's based. Based. Beyond based. It's not like freaking... It's not like Q-Top where I have to sit here and go, oh my gosh, over and over.
My first contention with God, or the Islamic concept of God, is that if God is infinite, that means without measure. And measurement requires limitation. If something can be measured, then that means it has extent, that it has boundaries, and that it is also finite. Okay? So if an infinite being must be without any internal measurement, that means there can't be any increase, no decrease, no becoming, no sequences. Okay? So if an infinite being cannot undergo change because change requires measurement, then it simply means that God must be unchangingly true. Now, when we get into the concept of eternality and time, which my friend here is going to appeal to a different concept of time than I am, but he cannot reject a rational structure. And this means like this. Eternal does not mean long time, Muslims, please. Eternal does not mean a long time. I hear this a lot of times in the debates where is God always doing this? Is God always doing that? Presupposing that there is some kind of sequence to an unchanging reality, right? So eternal means timeless and simply the measure of change. If there is no change, there's no time. If there's no time, there's no sequence. If there's no new states in God, right?
I like this type of critique, harping in really hard on the whole aspect of like, especially like the Salafi or like the Athari style positions, where they kind of like affirm that like God is in time and space and things like that, right? Like the ones that hold that type of position, it's really easy to kind of show that like they're limited or that they have boundaries of some kind. That's a good way to approach
any valid
that.
Eternal being must be timeless, changeless, fully actual, without any potential, with no composition, and not acquiring any new properties or relations within time. A being who becomes something,
Did bro just say pure act? I'm kidding.
is not eternal, because that's sequence, and sequence requires change. Sequence and sequence requires change. Sequence and sequence requires change before and after. Point A to point
was
B.
that?
There's something called the principle of sufficient reason, PSR. It states that every contingent fact requires a complete explanation, and this is what is accepted across tons of across classical theism in itself and analytic philosophy. That if the universe is contingent, which it clearly is, then its cause, its reason, must be necessary, unchanging, eternal, simple, and without any potential.
W, necessity and contingency. It's funny too because a lot of Muslims like to use like the Kalam cosmological argument for things like that.
Otherwise, the cause itself would need a cause, which would make no sense, right? It's a contradiction. So whatever has potentiality is contingent because the capacity to change shows that it does not have existence by necessity. Change implies potentiality. Potentiality implies non-necessary, and non-necessity refers to contingency.
Oh, did he say anything that's potent is contingent, and then they would have to admit kind of like that Allah is contingent? That's cool. I don't know if they, because like I know that sometimes
Yo, bro, we can't hear you if you're
Muslims,
talking.
I know that sometimes Muslims will admit that God, like for example, that Allah has like passive potency and stuff like that, but then like you always think that that usually would lead to something like them then being contingent, but then they'll say no, he's still necessary though. How would I go up against quotes that speak highly of Rome? You can look at literally any quote of anybody speaking highly of a bunch of different freaking dioceses throughout time, brother. Honorifics was used in the same way that like a jury is gained favor by a lawyer. Like if I want you to support me, I'm gonna say you're the best person ever, bro.
Wait, you can't hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the last thing you guys heard? Oh.
I think the last word was contingency.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yes. So what I'm saying is that if there is a change that requires potentiality, and if the potentiality requires something being not necessary, something non-necessary means that it is contingent. Okay. And here's another philosophical and cosmological structure says that.
Yo, random thing that people might not agree with, by the way, but I do personally believe this. I think Cora is a really good debater. Like I've watched like multiple debates from Cora now, and like she's very well spoken. Like she's very, very good at getting her points across. And that's something that not a lot of people have really good skill at. But that is something that I do admit about her, for sure.
If the cause of the universe is to be contingent, is what we call the argument of radical contingency, then you would have an infinite regress of contingent beings. So A caused B to happen, B caused C to happen, C caused D to happen, and forever, which is redundant, right? It makes no sense. Therefore, the first cause cannot in itself be contingent, potential, dependent on any.
Insofar as, yes. Yeah.
So again, as Muslims say, if someone asserts that the first cause is a single person who undergoes internal change, then you have several problems that arise here. Okay, we already went over, like I said, if God changes intrinsically to his being, then God is contingent. God is potential. God is non-necessary. He has this external dependence.
Okay, so Word's main argument that he's basically doing here is he's going to try to prove that their understanding of Allah leads to him being contingent or not necessary, which then means that, that would then conclude, obviously, that then in a possible world, Allah does not exist, which, that's just an absolutely cooked position to hold to.
It's something that is external from his being.
I don't think anybody would hold that.
Okay? According to the Muslims, they affirm that their God has potentiality, that he has new state of affairs, or that he goes under different states, how he has a supposed eternal love, but then doesn't love anybody from eternity, that his love isn't actualized until he creates. Then you ask the question to the Muslim, okay, who did your God love eternally, and who else but God, that's an eternal being, existed with him for him to essentially share this love with?
Himself, bro. Himself. You're just not based enough, bro. He just loves himself, bro.
Right? And they'll say nobody. It's logically impossible. We believe in Tawheed, people. We believe in Tawheed. There's no other being, no other person that is eternal, that existed with Allah. Right? So then they have to come to the conclusion that their God requires creation. And creation is going to be external from the being of their God. So therefore their God needs creation in order to be something. Right?
Damn, he's saying Allah is contingent in your view, meaning he possibly couldn't exist, and creation is necessary at the same time. That's funny.
Therefore, the God violates PSR in the argument of radical contingency. The reason why the Trinity solves this issue is because we don't believe God within his nature changes. We believe he's outside of the concept of time. He lives in a
Christian Mario for $2. He said, "Thanks for coming on." Absolutely, man. I appreciate you letting me up. That was fun. That was really fun.
Uncreated reality, not in a reality that undergoes sequence. Right? So according to the Muslims, they also affirm that their God and his actions are not eternal. They don't believe God eternally wills anything. They believe that he does things within creation, within the aspect of time, right? Whether it's they believe their God is the most merciful, the most loving. There's anything that they try to explain their God being relational.
I've always thought it was so funny, by the way, that they don't say all loving or all merciful. They say most loving and most merciful. That's always like one of the funniest things to me. Like it's like he doesn't possess omni properties. Is he also the most knowing? Or the most powerful? Instead of being like all powerful? Like, does the same thing apply to like his other properties?
There's nothing for their God to be relational to before he created. So therefore he needs creation in itself in order to be
Allah, he's the most knowing.
This, to be that. But God is exactly what he is by necessity, not by contingency. So like I said, for the opening statements, all I'm doing is proving that their God violates PSR, that their God violates a cosmological structure. And if they did.
Oh, dude, you've just freaking buried yourself though, because because Ahmed Qureshi doesn't give a shit about classical logic, bro. You say that it violates PSR, he will literally just concede that shit. He doesn't care. He'll just concede that, be like, so doesn't mean it's false.
Not a PSR and radical contingency, then they themselves are they and their reasoning is irrational, right? And what they take their God to be is illogical. As simple as that. As simple as that. And obviously, I know my opponent here, Ahmed Qureshi. I've watched tons of his debates and his videos. I know he's going to equivocate. I know he's going to commit fallacies. I know he's going to speak in Latin, if he does today.
I know he's going to speak another language, try to throw me off. This bro's he's precogging the whole fucking argument, bro.
Hey, I don't know if he does.
Because you know that's what he does. That's all he does. He either speaks in Latin or he says a couple Greek words, then he's like, you don't know what that means. He does it every time.
And I know he's just going to equivocate a lot of terms. Like, for an example, he thinks we as Trinitarians believe the essence of God is a sortal. He believes it's a genus. He believes that the essence of God is some universal and that the relations are just instances of one universal. Guys, I mean, if you don't believe me, you can watch his YouTube debates. His first video. Oh, it's funny. Anyways, right? That's all Muslims can do is just equivocate, commit fallacies, speak unknown languages. Come on, man.
Unknown languages is crazy, bro. Be like, hey, dude, I don't speak spaghetti letters. Try that shit again.
Now getting to the Trinity with my last 2 minutes. Obviously, he's going to try to bring Leibniz's law. He's going to try to bring the law of transitivity, the law of indiscernibles. But like I said, you just have to wait until the cross exams. I'm going to show him literally how it's not illogical. Because I know that's what he usually does. He equivocates person with being.
You can't hear me? No shot, you can't hear me. Are you trolling me? Dude, everybody else is giving skull emojis and laughing emojis. I know that my jokes are landing.
It's another one. And he thinks that relation refers to an instance or instantiation. Crazy, man. Crazy. I guess that's it, y'all. That's really not much. Oh, and they also think just because 3 persons share the same nature that they must be identical in personhood, which is also not the case. Just to let you guys know, for the people who don't know, and for the Muslims that always root on other Muslims when it comes to philosophical debates, but they're just laughing just to support him, not because they actually know what he's saying. The law of indiscernibles.
That's so, dude, massive truth nuke, by the way. Absolute massive truth nuke. That applies to pretty much most debates. Like, every time that I do a formal debate, I always will like have to do like 3 or 4 days of dealing with this bullshit where like I'll join up on a panel like 2 or 3 days after I do a formal debate or something, and somebody will like in the comments or like they'll come up and be like, how does it feel to get cooked by X? And then like I literally would just look at him and be like, can you name a single argument that he made against me real quick? And they just no, not right now. But I know you got cooked. You can't repeat a single argument that he made, but you know that I got cooked, all right? Like,
it's just saying that
get out of here, bro. You're an orbiter. Stop being an orbiter.
All the same ontological properties, they must be identical. But they must be identical in the sense of substance, and nature, and essence. And that's what we believe. We believe that the 3 persons are indiscernible in nature, but it's discernible in personhood. So therefore, does not violate the law of indiscernibles. What about it? The law of transitivity. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Yeah, that's doesn't violate the Trinity at all. Anyways, I guess I'll just concede the rest of my 50 seconds. Ahmed, you're go ahead.
Yeah, he straight up said, yeah, A equals B, B equals C, A equals C. That doesn't invalidate the Trinity. I love that, dude.
Are you
it
sure?
it just didn't even elaborate.
You want to concede the time?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, for sure. Thank you for the
All right.
opening, bro. All right.
I hate to say this, but I have to put Ahmed down to 1.0. I can't listen to him going like on 1.25x or anything like that. I can listen to the Thewordwins doing that because I like he speaks fluidly. But Ahmed is going to do some dumb shit for this opening, so I have to slow him down.
But let me know when you're ready.
Bryce, what's your qualifications? I read a lot of books.
Okay.
Let's get back on the big screen, inshallah.
Let me pull up a notepad too, because I'm gonna need it. All right.
Itachi, where you at? Give me big screen. Alright, some mod, you other. A Christ core, drop word.
Yeah, give me big screen alongside him just so you can see the time.
Dude, I swear Ahmed Qureshi is in a different location every time that he speaks to somebody. Am I tripping? Like, every time that he debates a singular person, he's in a completely different place, a completely different house.
Okay.
All right, perfect. And I'll give you a countdown from 3. All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, keep in mind, this is my opening statement. I'm not able to refute anything he said in previous. That's going to be the rebuttals. I bear witness that
Damn, he straight up said, I can't refute that.
there's no God but Allah.
In the opening.
And Muhammad, peace be upon his messenger. The purpose for this examination is to examine the thesis of the Trinity. A 3-1 frame.
I do have a YouTube channel. It's Bryce J Official, Abu.
Of 3 persons sharing the same ontological essence, or the thesis of Tawheed, a one of one God.
Ontological essence is crazy. We're gonna do an Ahmed funny word counter. This dude said ontological essence. Wow. All right, next.
Nothing like Krishna ontologically, transcendent to where he has no equal, neither begets nor is begotten. The uncreated eternal creator is logical coherent. My opponent
Logical coherent.
is the Eastern Orthodox. Thus, I'll be critiquing the framework of monarchical Trinitarianism. I'll be also critiquing the energy S distinction granted by St. Gregory Palamas.
Bro said energy essence distinction by St. Gregory Palamas. All right.
To clarify about my position, I'm an Athari.
Who wins, Q-Top or Ahmed? Q-Top wins that,
My
bro.
source for theonomy is the Quran and the Sunnah. We hold that God has real attributes that are distinct, yet intrinsic and inseparable from him. While not having ontological priority, meaning the attributes do not exist prior to the essence, nor does the essence exist posterior to the attributes, but they have a counterfactual dependency according to Ibn Taymiyyah.
I mean, I understand that you guys don't have like an ontological priority, but like, do you have a logical priority or a logical posteriority? Like, I mean, like, I don't understand this about these guys. It seems like when they always harp on there's no priority, there's no posteriority. Okay, but like, is there at least a logical priority? Because like, if there's not even like a logical priority, like this shit's incoherent. It's like impossible to like understand like how we did make reference in the first place.
And I also hold that God has attributes that can be either transitive or intransitive. What we mean by transitive attributes is it going to be an attribute by Cambridge relation.
Transitive acts, is that not something that was, okay, quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that transitive acts is like something that was invented through Thomism. I don't think that transitive acts were used prior to them. Am I stupid? Or like, is that like a scholastic thing? I'm pretty sure that's a scholastic thing. That's not an Islamic doctrine. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb, but I don't like transitive acts are something that like is specifically held in like Thomistic philosophy.
A Cambridge relation could be an agent and patient. Now, what we mean by intransitive attributes is an attribute that does not take on a patient. It's immanent within the agent itself. We also epistemically describe God by cataphatic and apophatic propositions. Now, to examine
Cataphatic and apophatic propositions. Okay.
the classical Trinitarian framework,
The essence? The essence of a law can be cataphatic.
the Trinity, in
I mean,
classical theism,
maybe.
they believe that there are three divine persons: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And let's see, if it considers logical and metaphysical scrutiny. Now, there's 7 propositions. The Father is God. The Son is God. The Holy Spirit is God. The Father is not the Son.
Oh, here we go. Transitivity.
The Son is not the Holy Spirit. And the Father is not the Holy Spirit either. And they conclude there's only one God. On the apparent prima facie, there's 3 is God statements.
The bro said prima facie, bro. Oh, here we go, bro. Classic Ahmed Qureshi.
3 statements explicitly declaring distinction between each subjects, and they're all followed by the clarification that there's only one God. This poses an issue, a dilemma, that requires logical reconciliation. So I'll ask my opponent this in the cross-examination. Are the persons God by identity, or are they God by predication? If word loses, believe that they're a God by identity.
If word loses, yo, W rhetoric from Ahmed, dude. That's funny, bro. I'm sorry. That's funny, though.
A set of problems follows. We must clarify what
Bryce J, for the love of God, please get a hold on your potty mouth. Bro, chill out, man. Oh my goodness. Dude, your piety is so strong, man. It's like hitting me in the chest, man. Like, you're so humble for telling me that.
type of identity, and he must argue for why this particular form stands when it comes to the Trinity. If he says a person is God by predication, this results in necessary discourse on whether or not an essence which is previously defined as essential predicates.
What did he just... Hold on. I got this. I got this, guys. Hold on.
If word loses, believe that they're a God by identity.
Okay.
A set of problems follows.
How does he combine 3 words into 1 word that much, bro?
We must clarify what type of identity, and he must argue for why this particular form stands when it comes to the Trinity. If he says a person are God by predication, this results in necessary discourse on whether or not an essence which is previously defined as essential predicates can be predicated under
I still can't understand him. Somebody.
of itself. Another issue
Okay, I think we turn it back.
arise from the Trinity will be the argument of classical counting method. How
Okay, counting method
exactly
argument.
do we count how many gods there are, and what is accepted about how we count things by identity, and what is their parents?
I'm excited to see the
use
addressing
this
of that.
counting method
I
necessarily
love
goes
watching
from
that
God
type of
to
debate.
Trinity. And I'll ask my opponent to appeal to counting by division. He's gonna appeal by counting by division. So to avoid a multitude within his Godhead.
What? Try that again.
And I'll ask my opponent to appeal to counting by division. He's gonna appeal by counting by division. So to avoid a multitude within his Godhead.
I don't know what he said. I can't deduce it. I'm just gonna keep going.
I'll press further my cross exams, but until then, we can move on to
Ahmed, bro, your rhetoric is fucking, dude. It's through the roof. It's through the roof, man. I can't understand. Like,
I'm looking forward to address my arguments against the hate and simultaneously, hopefully, get a response to my arguments against the Trinity. I'll quickly consume my time. Let's get rebuttals.
He just gets seen on his time. Dude, he talked for like 3 minutes. Yo, this debate is funny as hell already, bro. I love this. Oh my goodness, bro.
Oh, boy, you ready, man?
He straight up said, F the freaking openings, bro. Let's get into it.
Quick little intro. All right. So you guys said 7 minutes. Let's get it.
He had 6 minutes to defend Allah, and he didn't do it.
And shoot. Okay. So let's give the word big screen.
Add to the funny word counter. I don't even know what the what was it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what it was, man. Am I on YouTube? I am. It's at Bryce J Official.
All right,
I'm currently on YouTube right now. Oh, Predikin.
And for both of you.
Predikin. Yes. So we'll get rid of this one because this one wasn't fair. But Predikin is crazy. There we go.
Ask clarifying questions. Like, let's say, for example, Word, when you're questioning Ahmed and he has a clarifying question, he is allowed to ask that clarifying question, but I'm going to pause the time while he asks it. So the time.
So this is rebuttals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, for cross exam. That's specifically for cross exam.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a screen. Mod.
Wait, what's going on?
Oh yeah, we're just waiting for you to get big screen and then we can get started on inside. There we go. And I'm gonna give you a countdown from 3, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we go.
My opponent barely had any opening statements, so there's not much really to respond to. He had asked me a specific question though, and I just want to address it in the sense of, already affirming his position. When we say Jesus is God, the Father is God, the Holy Spirit is God, this is going to be my predication. If you didn't know, so Jesus is God, the Father is God, the Holy Spirit is God by predication. If I were to say by identity.
Hey, Word, do you take like Sijawade's understanding of like Dr. Sijawade's understanding of that, or do you have like a different one, like a classical understanding of predication? Because like there's like an analytical understanding, and then there's like a classical understanding of like what predication would mean. I am curious.
Sure that automatically assumes like an absolute identity, meaning in every sense. We don't believe that, right? And aside from that, he also said that the attributes of his God, there's going to.
Because saying all three of the persons are God by predication is interesting. Because even if you take like Sijawade's view, you would say that the Father is the one nominal God, so he'd be God by identity. And then the Son and the Spirit would be God by predication, based off of the fact that they come from the God by identity.
Going to be some that are transitive and intransitive, and if he didn't say that,
I just mean it in the sense of fully possessing nature. Okay.
That's I need correction. But I'm pretty sure he said that there's attributes of his God that are intransitive or transitive. I'm pretty sure by the simple.
Bryce, do you agree with Sijawade's understanding of the Trinity? I mean, I don't have an understanding with like his nominal thing that he tries to do, because his argument is specifically from Oration 34 of Saint Gregory Nazianzen. It's not like a completely foreign position. But if you take it from the classical perspective, it sounds crazy. But you have to understand that you can't, like, if you're looking at Sijawade's view, you can't look at it from a scholastic perspective, because he doesn't use scholastic terminology, like, at all. He avoids it, like, purposely. So, like, if you're critiquing it from a scholastic perspective, it's going to sound bad, but he uses analytics.
Simple definitional sense.
Yes, Vile Vendetta, Dr. Branson holds the same view, yes.
Transitive and intransitive. Transitive is going to be the transfer of the action to something else outside, and then intransitive is going to be the action that stops with the subject, right? So there's no object. Right? So if he believes that there's an attribute such as loving is supposed to be transitive or intransitive, that's just going to be one of the main questions in the cross exams. Like I said, not much really to rebuttal with him. We'll have to see what goes on in cross exams. Like I said, he still hasn't made any thing in his opening statements that shows that his God is unchangingly true, that his God is non-contingent, I'm pretty sure he affirms that God can change. So, you know, we'll see. I guess that's really all I have to say. You can, I can see the rest of my time.
Okay. All right. 7 minutes for Ahmed. Let's get him big screen.
All right, bismillah. Damn, God by predication? Oh, brother.
I'm gonna give you a countdown. 3. All right.
If you want, I mean, okay.
Okay, brother.
Go ahead.
2, 1.
All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He was talking about the PSR, the principle of sufficient reason. What he did, he brought the PSR and he conflated with the Kalam cosmological argument. All simply, without sophistry, a PSR, a principle of sufficient reason, declares that for any cause or for any entity, there's a sufficient reason that's proportional to the subject. Okay? But when it comes to Kalam cosmological argument, this is demonstrated by the social Trinitarian William Lane Craig, who said the universe, you know, it was created, it has a cause, therefore the universe has a maker. Okay? He also said that Allah has potentiality. Okay? Nowhere in our books do we explicitly say potentiality. However, potentiality is ambiguous. And we divide potentiality either to active potentiality and passive potentiality. And even the pure act theists, the Christians, that God has a potentiality passively, God still has active potentiality. So I reject that Allah has passive potentiality. He's never a patient without being the agent.
Okay, so Ahmed rejects passive potency in Allah. That's good.
Intransitively, but
What was that? Thank you for the subscription there, golfer.
he is the agent without being a patient. So God can have active potentiality, and this is even said by the same people, St. Thomas Aquinas in the book of Metaphysics.
I think it's, you know, like, it's kind of weird, but like, I do, even though that I don't think Thomas Aquinas is a saint, of course, I do appreciate the fact that he respects when he is utilizing a critique on Christianity where he'll refer to people as saints. I think that's cool about Ahmed. That's something that a lot of Muslims don't do. And I do think I will give that to Ahmed, that I do like that he appreciates them, at least to refer to them in that manner.
And you're not Thomas, but even he says, he holds the pure act, that even he says that God has.
And a lot of Christians, yeah, honestly, he's doing better than a lot of freaking Protestants, honestly, in my opinion, dude. You respect saints more than Protestants do.
Active potentiality, active dynamis, active power, while having no passive potentiality. All that means is that God cannot.
Ahmed, do you think that there's a distinction between power and energy, or is that one category to you?
Be acted upon, have changed by another agent, or else we would have a composer. However, God can be the agent, and he can have an action that was from potential to meeting Antilesia. He also asked, who did Allah love before creation? Tap on my profile, scroll 3 columns down, or review this in the freaking car next to a Popeyes. I review this in front of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's called Al-Wadud. Who did Allah love before creation? He is the most loving as a noun based on his attributes. Now, Allah gets his name, the most loving, not because of his actions, but he gets his names, the most loving, because of his attributes. The evidence of this is the Prophet's most famous hadith about his.
So they don't affirm that love is a verb? Like, they don't believe that, like, it's an actual attribute that denotes an action? That's an interesting answer to that. So they affirm that basically Allah being loving, or him being... Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard that be the answer to that, by saying that it's a noun instead of a verb.
He said, Ya muqallib al-qulub thabit qalbi ala dinik. He said, oh, turn the hearts. Keep my heart steadfast on your religion. The Prophet described Allah.
They believe it's just in his mind. That's interesting.
As being the turn of the hearts. He's described as being an actor of an agent. But out of 99 Allah's names, there's no title nor name called Muqallib al-Qulub, the turn of the hearts. Why? Because Allah's names are not abstractions of his actions. Allah's names are going to be abstractions from his attributes. So the PSR is going to be unproportionate.
Yeah, but do attributes not denote actions? Like, an attribute is something that denotes the ability to do something, at least. Even if you're not saying, like, even if you don't believe that God is pure act or something. Like, if you're talking about an action, like, for example, if he's powerful, right, that's denoting the ability to commit power, right? So, like, an attribute, it does speak of an action. It speaks of either an ability or a eternal actualization or something like that. I think that holding to attributes as not being actions, I think that's weird. I don't even know how that would work.
Allah does not have to get a title to
It would stem to volitional attributes. So it's capacities of Allah's mind.
do something. Allah has titles because of his essence.
Okay, so the attributes then to a Muslim is the capacity of Allah's will, then. It's a name that stems from the capability of Allah willing something.
And because Allah is the most perfect being, he
I don't know, I think it's weird. Because then that means we understand Allah's mind. It's
necessarily
weird.
has the attribute of having love. And love is not transitive, it's going to be intransitive. It's intransitive meaning that there's no external patient to which Allah loves. Allah intransitively has love within his essence. Now, based on your consistency, I can ask you, your own Bible says that God is a jealous God. Who did your God love? Who was your God jealous of before creation? If you say the Father was jealous of the Son, who was the Son worshiping before Yahweh? Because your God's jealous because there's going to be polytheism excluding God.
Yeah, but those are just anthropomorphic terms. We don't say that then therefore one of God's attributes is jealousy. Or that that him enacting justice is something that is like that would be an add extra energy.
God wants other people to worship.
Jealousy would be anthropomorphic. Justice would be something that is justice is something that's just eternally actualized as an add extra format.
Him, other than him. Now you fall a dilemma back on your.
It manifests based off of what he creates, of course.
He also misconstrued the law of identity. He said Leibniz law of identity. Brother, you do not want to go Leibniz law of identity.
Leibniz law of identity. Is that what he said?
Leibniz has two laws. The indiscernibility of identity, one.
If you are capable of being rich, then you are rich. That is not purporting to what I said at all. That if you have an attribute, for example, like for human beings, that wouldn't apply because we're contingent and we're changing.
And the identity of indiscernibility. Why would you appeal to that? This is not first order logic. This is second order logic. You cannot quantify properties in first order logic. You only quantify properties in second order logic. Also, Principia Mathematica, Bertrand Russell, he also says the same thing. He includes Leibniz law of identity when it comes to identity statements. Also, when you say that Yahweh is God by predication, uqsum billah, the debate is over. You said that that Jesus is God the same way Ahmed is mortal. Jesus is an instance of God inside of him. Now let me ask you.
Wait, what?
That Jesus is God the same way Ahmed is mortal. Jesus is an instance of God inside of him. Now let me ask you. If God is an essence.
An instance. What was the instance? Like, what is he taking that to mean?
Essence is the set of essential properties. And if Jesus has a property of being God, but God itself also has a set of properties.
I'm trying to think of like how that would apply to scholastic terminology. I don't know where you would determine something as an instance.
If they regress, if you say that Jesus is predicate of God by predication, because now he has a set of properties, infinite regress, brother. Also, just to clear up, he also quoted that if God is infinite, God is without limit. This is going to be very ambiguous. When we say that God...
No, that's actually just what the word means. Infinite means that he is not finite. To be finite is to be limited. If you're infinite, you are not limited.
God is infinite, that means it's going to be countless, it's going to be proceeding bigger. Okay? Now we know that proposition of God's knowledge is infinite, but the multiplicity of God, the quantity of God is not going to be infinite. For example, I can say that there's only one God, and I can say that God's eternal. He cannot stop to existing. That's not limiting God, that's putting non-arbitrary limits. Okay, now we know that proposition of God, and I can say that God's eternal and why, then he gets the opposition of...
Well, obviously, like if we say that he's infinite, that means that like freaking he's without limits of it within his nature. Like we're not saying like that he can do illogical things.
This is why. If I say God is eternal, that necessarily implies that he has no beginning, no end. Therefore, if you ask, oh, why can't God stop existing? That's a limit. That's not a limit. That's non-arbitrary limits.
No.
Words have meaning, and then it gets the opposition of...
God necessarily exists, therefore he can't see. He necessarily exists, essentially. So like he can't not exist. That's that.
Of that word. I consider this my time. Let's go to cross-examination.
Okay, gotta pee real quick, and then we're gonna get into the best part. Man, I am so excited.
All right, and the first person cross-examining is Word, so you're gonna get your 15. All right, and I'm gonna give you a countdown. And just to clarify again, one more time. So, Ahmed, if you need to ask clarifying questions, you are allowed to ask, but I'm gonna pause his time when you ask, okay?
That was way too fast. Bryce did not wash his hands. Well, you see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the comfort of my own home. You know what I'm saying?
All right, and Word, that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, and just to clarify, is my mic all right? Or is it like kind of muffled? Is it good? Testing.
It's fine with me, yeah.
Okay. All right, and I'm gonna get a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
All right, Ahmed. Does the existence of a contingent universe require an explanation in a necessary
Never shaking Bryce's hand if I ever meet him. Just not if you're at my house.
non-contingent cause?
Okay, does a contingent universal does what?
Does the existence of a contingent universe, does it require an explanation in a necessary non-contingent cause?
So all you're asking is that the universe is contingent and needs a necessary being. Yes, that's all you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so why not just say that?
Okay, perfect. If the first cause...
I know Ahmed is not freaking ambiguity signaling this guy. I know he's not doing that, bro. He is not ambiguity signaling Thewordwins right now, bro.
Cause goes under any internal change, doesn't that change require sufficient reason beyond the first cause itself?
When you say beyond the first cause itself, are you saying like outside the agent?
Outside of creation.
Outside of creation?
The first cause is going to be creation. So if the first cause, meaning, or if the sustainer or the uncaused cause had a first cause, what grounds that, or what is the sufficient reason
I'm sorry,
beyond that?
if the uncaused cause, you mean God?
Yes.
Holy shit, try not to ask a clarifier challenge impossible, dude.
Okay, so what about God?
I'm saying if he himself changes, what is the sufficient reason for that change?
Okay, and how are you defining change to be?
Sequence.
A sequence?
Yes.
If God has a sequence?
State A to state B. Do you not know what that is?
I reject that.
I'm asking you.
Sequence?
Yes.
If God has a sequence?
State A to state B. Do you not know what that is?
I reject that.
Dude, look. I reject that, dude. Brother.
I'm asking you. Oh my gosh, you're not understanding. I'm saying if that is the case, okay, do you believe your God goes under sequence?
Okay, so if you're asking, if God has a T1 and a T2 and they're synchronically distinct and a PSR8
Synchronically
is
distinct.
external to God, I reject that. That's a non sequitur. What?
Okay. Next question. If the cause of the universe is contingent, doesn't that require, or doesn't that create an infinite regress of contingent causes with no necessary foundation if your God himself is contingent?
Sorry. So all you're saying, if...
Oh my gosh, bro. Please just try to answer a question without asking one.
The cause of the universe could be other way. That would be an infinite regress because it has to be a necessary starting point. That's all you're saying.
Yeah, so if your God had potential...
So why not just say that? Yes.
If your God...
I agree. It has to be necessary creator.
Okay, thank you. If God is eternal...
Guys, he answered the question.
Do you agree he
Amen.
cannot move from a state from not willing creation to willing creation? And would that be temporal change?
Okay, if God is eternal, can you go from one state to not willing something to another? I reject that. Eternal just
I reject that, dude. I gotta make that a new soundboard in Bryce Chord. I reject that.
describes the ontological modality of a being. Will has to do with the intellect.
Okay, am I allowed to get responses to that or no?
I don't care, bro. I don't care what you mean.
Was that not a sufficient response, or?
Well, no. I just believe every time you ask a question, they respond. I'm just asking, is an answer.
Oh yeah.
Do we give an
Every
answer?
single time that he asks a question, the time's gonna be paused, so you can.
Yeah, we clarify questions. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So when I
Look at that smile, bro. Look at he's doing it on purpose. You could just tell that he's doing it on purpose. Look at that, bro. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. You could see it in his face.
I said that when you affirm that your God is eternal, but then he possesses intrinsic properties or attributes that are distinct from his essence, that which go under change or sequence, because potential requires sequence. Sequence is state A to state B. So if your God had potentiality, meaning one of his properties, are not actualized until creation, that means that your God goes under change, and change is sequence, and sequence is going to be the measurement. So if you believe that your God is eternal, he cannot possess things that which are potential.
I don't accept sequence.
Hey, to be fair, Thewordwins, that wasn't a question. You kind of just reductioed him, which doesn't really apply to a cross exam.
The measurement.
Okay, is sequence point A to point B?
A sequence is okay. A sequence could be an index of point A to point B. It's an index.
Okay, is point A to point B not a measurement?
Orthodox Center, if you want to get me a thumbnail for this, that would be fantastic because I'm going to upload this separately.
Brother, point A to point B, that's a Cambridge relation, not a measurement.
Yeah, are relational measurement sequences?
Relational? How do you measure relations?
Oh my gosh. Is A related to B?
A, if there's a Cambridge relation from A to B, there's going to be a relative relation.
Fucking hate the Cambridge relation.
Right, so is that from state A would be the before and state B is the after? Is that not a measurement?
Okay, now you included before and after. Now you're implying temporal events logically or metaphysically. Okay, that can be before and after. That could be a sequence.
I hate when people say that, bro.
A sequence
the
of
Cambridge
measurements,
relation.
brother.
Yeah, a sequence is a measurement. What are you talking? It's a relational
Sequence is
measurement.
an index.
It's a relational measurement.
It's how do you measure relations?
Stop.
Okay. Next question. If God is infinite, and infinity means without measure, how can he undergo any measured sequence which is change?
Okay, if God is infinite, well, that's disambiguous. We say it's infinite and
They both already disambiguated that. They both already disambiguated what infinite means. I don't understand how that remains ambiguous.
predicamentals. For example, God is not infinite by how many gods there are. I consider there's one God, but isn't God infinite? Why is not infinite gods? God's infinite in proportion to his predicamentals, from his qualities, from his attributes. They have no measure and degree.
Predicamentals.
Now, when we say God's infinite, we're talking about his degree. His knowledge is infinite. He has an infinite amount of knowledge, but God's quantity is only one, brother. So change,
I don't think I understand the question.
so now, but change.
Well, it's just the difference between referent and then like attributes of the referent.
Change has to do with the ontological grounding of a being, right? If it goes from potentiality to actuality. But infinity just describes there's going to be no measured degree of any predicamental.
Yeah, so infinite is literally the definition of something that which is unmeasurable.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, he's like the only person I think I've ever. Yeah, like freaking predicamental is a word, but like he's the only person I know that uses that word, bro.
Infinite is just going to be anything that's going to be. I accept the definition.
Cause like it's a real term, but like it's just, I'd never hear people use that word. I just.
Yeah, I'll accept the definition.
Okay, is God infinite?
Is God infinite? Yeah, and of course there's attributes.
Okay. Within the essence of God, is there any measurement?
Okay, within the essence of God, is there any measurement? What do you mean measurement?
Is your God and his attributes, do they go from a state of potentiality to actuality?
Yeah, there can be ikhtiyar, there can be volitional attributes that go from potentiality to actuality, but not as essential.
So things within his mind, volitional attributes can go from potentiality to actuality. Things within God's mind can do that. That's interesting. Are you talking about the effect, or are you talking about the actual attributes themselves? This is a difference.
Okay, so
if you think the attributes themselves go from potentiality to actuality, I think that's wild. That's wild to say.
what's an attribute that is potential then goes actual?
Yeah, Ibn Taymiyyah in volume 5, Majid Fatawa, he says Hadith al-Had. The Quran, for example, it from potentiality to actuality is instance of the genus. But the genus is eternal. The genus of speech is eternal, but the instantiation of speech
It would be the effect, not the attributes. I think he was wrong to say that. Okay.
is going to be from potentiality to actuality. That brings on antilesia.
Okay, so you do affirm that there's a before this attribute is potential, and then after this attribute is actual, right?
Yes, we're neoclassical theists. That's
Okay,
what neoclassical
thank
theism
you.
is.
Thank you. So you just affirm that there's a temporal change within the essence of your God. Okay, next question.
He's doing the speed face, bro. Look, he's doing the speed face. That can mean two things. Either one, he blundered and realized it, or two, he's okay with that and he thinks it's dumb that he said that. But I mean, honestly, I think if you just affirm temporal change in God, that's kind of wild.
God begins to have a new intention. Doesn't that imply God shifted from potential to actual? And would this mean that God is not pure actuality?
Okay. So restate your question one more time.
If God begins to have a new intention, doesn't that imply that God shifted from potential to actual, which means God is not pure actuality?
Well, you have to define pure actuality, active or passive.
What? Hold on. Let's listen to that again slower.
A new intention, doesn't that imply that God shifted from potential to actual, which meaning God is not pure actuality?
Well, you have to define pure actuality, active or passive.
If you define pure actuality after passive, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Active.
Yeah, God can have active potentiality, not passive.
No, I'm asking you, if he has a new intention, wouldn't that defeat pure actuality?
We don't believe that God has pure actuality, not passive.
No, I'm asking you, if he has a new intention, wouldn't that defeat pure actuality?
He is affirming active potential, which active potential is not a problem, because active potential is still technically in the realm of pure act.
I'm like, we don't believe that God has pure act.
Okay. So you believe your God has passive potency?
No, we don't believe passive potency. We believe they have active potency. Did you hear my intro? We don't believe in pure act.
Yeah, I know you don't believe in like the classical. I know that you believe that your God is potential.
I'll clarify my position for you. For your sake, we are neoclassical theism. Neoclassical theism.
We are neoclassical theism. Amen. Not amen,
Says
but
God can have active potentiality, brother. Okay, there's no
active potentiality instead of active
issue. If
potency.
you know this, it's fine. You can know this now. Neoclassical theists.
I swear he thinks of like every word that like he's about to state, and then like he just says it in the largest way possible.
That God can have active potentiality, but not passive potentiality.
So what does active potency mean?
Thank you. Active potentiality is just a transitive operation that goes from anything that's going to be from potential to actual within the patient itself, between the agent and the patient.
Okay. So potential to actual. Perfect. And is that not a before and after?
Brother, the difference between potential to actual, between passive and active, is that active is the agent acting upon the patient. Passive is the patient being acted upon from the agent. That's the two relations.
Okay, so again, is it a before and after?
Is it a before and after for God's volitional attribute of potentiality to actuality?
To be fair, he is affirming active potential right now. He's saying that God does not possess passive potency, right? So like the critique of trying to like collapse him at the moment into like change is not really going to follow as long as he just holds to that.
Yes.
And didn't you earlier say that? Thank you. So didn't earlier you
because the thing in of itself is not going to change just because of the fact that it acts on a different patient. Right. The thing itself does not change just because it externally acts outwards.
Affirmed.
Externally acts outwards. Sorry, guys.
That before and after is a temporal change?
Before and after, yeah, we can grant a temporal change when it comes to measurement of motion. That's external to God. But because it's within God.
Oh, are you saying that what?
Before and after is a temporal change?
Before and after, yeah, we can grant a temporal change when it comes to measurement of motion. That's external to God. But
you grant temporal change in God?
Because it's within God's, because it's within God's essence, it's not going to be temporal.
But if it's in God's essence, it's not temporal. Okay.
Okay. So according to the argument of radical contingency, it affirms that anything that which changes cannot be the sufficient reason. Do you affirm or not affirm that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
According to the argument of radical contingency, it states that the being that's the reason for why all contingent things exist in itself must not change. Do you agree or not agree?
I agree. It doesn't change passively. It can change actively.
Okay, what does it mean to change actively?
Great.
That's a good question.
Great. Actively is a relation between the agent and patient. Passively is when the agent will be acted upon. So I'll tell you why they say this. Radical contingency, they say that because God cannot be acted upon, or else there's another person acting upon God. But God is the creator without being created. This is an example of active potentiality. But if God was created, this would be passive potentiality. So I reject passive potentiality, that there's nobody above God that creates God, but God is an agent and he acts upon the patient below him in the hierarchy. Therefore, God's an agent. And active potentiality rises between the agent and the patient by Cam's relation.
Okay, so this patient that you're referring to, is this going to be external from his being?
The patient that I'm referring to,
maybe creation.
Is it external to his being?
Yes.
And inside transitive operations, a patient is external to the agent. Yes.
Okay, so before he created, did this patient exist?
Okay, before God created, the patient didn't exist in transitive operations. No.
Okay, so do you believe that your God, did he create eternally or did he create temporally?
No. God can have the genus of creation, but the actual expressions or the actual patience can exist temporally. Now, because it's going to be temporal,
So is the act of creation an eternal act then? That's kind of what he's getting at.
temporality is a conception of abstraction of motion, and motion can be measured external to God's essence. So we get time outside God's essence.
Yeah, again, time is created, so we're referring to before.
I don't agree time is created.
Okay, what is time?
Brother, time is not created. We have
No, what is time?
time.
I'm asking you, what is time?
Time is not created.
Is the abstraction of motion. Who told you the time is created? Are you crazy?
That's false. Time is the measurement of change. Agree or disagree?
Brother, what is change?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Wordwins here, but in Orthodoxy we have a kind of like a twofold understanding of time, right? We have linear time, which is something is the change of motion. It's basically time measured by motion. But then we also have this thing called the aeon, which is timeless time. So I mean that is a thing. That is a thing that exists. That's all over Saint Maximus the Confessor. He talks about it a lot in the Ambigua and the cosmic mystery of Jesus Christ. So I mean, like we have a twofold understanding of time, kind of like A theory and B theory both being true simultaneously in different states, like everlasting. Yeah, it's timeless time. Or Saint Maximus calls it motionless time, which motionless time is basically like heaven or the way that the angels live.
Changes before and after sequence.
Is change motion?
Change is motion.
Okay, is time the conception of motion?
How is he cross-examining him? Yo, Wordwins, bro. You gotta harp on this, bro. He's trying to take your cross-exam away.
It's the measurement of motion.
Okay, is the measurement instrumental or extramental?
What do you mean? It's both. The measurement can exist outside and inside the mind. What are you talking about?
Measuring something, you measure outside.
He's just talking to somebody while he literally flipped the cross-exam onto Wordwins, and Cora's just like talking to somebody in the background.
He did ask a question.
Oh, there we go. We're good.
Okay,
We're good. We're good. I think she caught it. She caught it.
So.
Can we just go back? Listen, it's not supposed to be back and forth. Ahmed,
Remember,
you're allowed clarifying questions, but once it turns into a back and forth, I have to stop it.
Okay, for your answer, we reject the time is created.
Okay. So
Reject that time is created.
So if
I've always thought that was such a weird position, but I don't know. That's just me.
measurements are finite and not infinite, and eternality is anything that which is infinite, and infinite is without measure, can time, meaning the measurement, exist within eternality?
Brother, time cannot be eternal in the sense it exists forever and ever, in the sense that it exists with God, because time is going to be not independent nor dependent from motion. This is explicit what also Aristotle says.
Saying time is uncreated is shirk. Why is that? I mean, like I'm assuming you're Shia. Your name is Destroyer of Sunnis. So why is it shirk in your view?
This book of physics.
Yeah. So again, right.
Like I believe that time is created, but like I'm curious as to why you as a Shia thinks that time being uncreated is shirk. That's interesting.
I can actually.
Like, what's the heresy that's being committed in your guys' view for that?
We just grant you that time itself, yeah, we can say that it's abstract. I'm saying that not all measurements are both exponential and instrumental, right? For an example, like I'm just talking in the sense of relational measurements. That in itself, relational measurements, is that exponential? Yes or no?
What does it mean for there to be a relational measurement?
It's subtle polytheism. Yeah, I understand that. It's yeah, because like it would say that there's multiple things that are uncreated. Yeah, but they believe that Allah is time though.
For there to be sequence.
So a relational measurement sequence?
Yes, relational measurement is going to include sequences.
Okay, so a relational measurement.
No, they don't actually. Okay, so then the Muslims in chat are just making shit up on the spot. Then.
If it's a sequence between T1 and T2, and T1 is identical to T2, there's going to be a temporal distinction. They're synchronically distinct, but diachronically identical.
So again, I'm gonna ask you, okay? Damn, bro, I look, you forgot what was my last question. If God,
we have a hadith that says Allah is time. Yo, bro, you got multiple Muslims that are saying no and multiple Muslims that are saying yes, and I'm pretty sure they're both Sunnis, bro.
Okay, is he in time or outside of time?
We can say that God can act in time.
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the question.
So is he in time or out? Is he inside of time or outside of time?
When you say inside, are you saying he's confined by time?
Is he confined by measurements?
What do you mean confined? You said time, I saying measurements.
In the sense of relational measurements, is your God confined by that?
Okay. Is my God confined by relational measurements? No.
Yes.
God
Okay.
can exist without a patient.
Okay, thank you. So if that is the case, then does your God go from a state of being of before and after? Yes or no?
Okay, does my God go for a state of being before and after?
From a state of being of before
From a
and
state
after.
of being?
Bro, this is time wasting, bro. Like the whole like repeating the question back thing is to run the clock down, dude. That's running the clock down, man.
Yes.
From before and after? You mean like, can God have synchronic distinctions in him?
Oh my gosh. The question is, I'm going to ask it again because this is one of the questions I asked in the beginning. The properties, the attributes of God, do they in themselves go under before and after?
I've done multiple of these reviews, by the way, Ahmed. Like I promise you, like I'm trying to be as unbiased as humanly possible. I've critiqued Thewordwins multiple times.
After sequences.
Can they be synchronically distinct? Yes.
Okay. So you affirm that if before and afters are temporal changes, and that relational measurements is anything that which has a sequence, then you affirm that your God is relationally measured within his essence. Therefore you affirmed, again, therefore you affirm that your God changes intrinsically in a relational aspect, meaning time cannot.
And honestly, to prove that I'm unbiased is freaking me and Q-Top went at it when I reviewed his debate on the Trinity. So he was mad at me for the way that I critiqued him, bro. Like I
be eternal if eternality is the direct contradictive to time.
That's a non sequitur.
Okay. The definition, according to the definition of eternality, it says anything that which does not change. Yes or no?
I reject.
Like I'm unbiased insofar as like using like if I critique something, it's because I think the argument's bad in general. But also, obviously, if Ahmed makes an argument, I'm gonna address it as part of the review. For anybody that may hear something from Ahmed that maybe Thewordwins doesn't answer, or something along that line, or maybe something wasn't clarified super largely, I'll try to go in more in depth with it. That's actually something that I did with multiple of the debates that I've reviewed so far. So obviously, yes, I'm still going to defend our position live while I'm listening, but at the same time, I'm also still not going to be like, oh, well, I defended the position, therefore the Christian won the debate. That's not what I do.
Oh, should I reject that definition? What?
Okay, things that are eternal can change?
Bro, all eternal means is no beginning, no end. Perpetual means beginning, no end. Who taught you that?
Okay, is beginning and end a measurement?
Beginning, and no end. They're going to be temporal measurements, yes.
Okay, thank you. So is eternality measurementless?
Bro, the
I don't. Yo, Word, why'd you ask that question, bro? yeah, that question was not necessary. I don't know what that means.
The substance itself can be measured, yes, but you cannot measure the beginning nor the end because it's not gonna have a beginning nor an end. You can't measure that. But if there's one thing, you can measure that. When we say that God is infinite, we can say that, okay, he has attributes, he has knowledge that's going to be infinite, but we know that God's one God, not infinite amount of gods. But God has no beginning, no end. All eternal, Qadim means is that no beginning, no end, brother.
Okay, thank you. So you affirm that eternal means without measure because no beginning, no end.
No, no one said that.
Stop, don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. Okay, again, I'm going to ask you one more time. Is no beginning, no end, no measurement?
Okay. No beginning and no end for something by the ontological being per se is not measurable from a state of existence, but intrinsically the predicamentals can be measured. I can signify how many gods there are in Tawheed. There's only one God, but there's not an infinite amount of gods. If God's gonna
Yeah, but that's just the referent itself. We're talking about the way that God works, not whether or not that you can refer to God.
be eternal and something eternal to be infinite, Why aren't there an infinite amount of gods? No, it's infinite in proportion to its predicamentals, its qualities, brother.
Okay, since you're not answering the question, I'm just gonna move on. Is God's decision to create eternal or temporal?
What?
Is God's decision to create eternal or temporal?
Is it God's decision to...
Come on, bro. Answer. You know you got 30 seconds left. You're doing this shit on purpose. He's doing this shit on purpose.
create temporal or eternal?
I'm asking you, is God's decision to do anything, is it, in the sense of creating, is it eternal or
Is it an eternal decision or a temporal decision?
temporal?
A predicamental is a relation to a predicate. Dot. It's a relation to the predicate itself. Or a predicament. A predicament. A relation to a predicament.
It could be either eternal, or it could be temporal.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say predicate. Predicament. It's a relation to a predicament. Can you give an example? Not really, because Ahmed is one of the only people on the planet that uses predicamentals.
God can create something by...
Like that's just so foreign to like my theology. I have no idea how to even like show you an example of that, dude. I'm sorry, bro. Nobody uses that.
His will right now, or God can create something from his will, predestined for eternity. God can...
That's just a big ass word, bro. Like that's what that is. It's a big ass word.
Something is going to create proportions and be... So God can create... God can have the knowledge of the ikhtiyar, but the actualization of the expression can change temporally. Is that time?
Yeah, it's time. Do you want to try the answer and then...
Yeah, I can get... Can I...
Bro. Dude, Ahmed's ability to run the clock down is crazy, bro.
Give an answer?
I mean, like, can you wrap up his answer? Because
Yeah, I can wrap it up. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I just reject everything that he had just mentioned again.
Hell yeah, dude. He said, yeah, I just reject all that shit.
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is that you were asking him the question, so he gets to wrap up the answer that he was giving.
Oh, I thought you... No, it's because I thought after
Everything you said, I reject that shit.
answer he gives, I can respond to it, but I guess not.
No.
A predicamental is the olive to a word salad, correct? Yes, that's a good example.
But you're not supposed to...
No, it's all good, it's all good. He can just go ahead, ask the question.
W word. Oh, you meant like the person. Yeah, absolutely. W word.
Right.
Sorry. I thought you said W word because we were talking about predicamentals.
15-minute class for Ahmed. I'm going to give you a... 3 seconds to count that, okay? Alright. 3, 2, 1.
Did you take time to study about Tawheed prior to this debate?
Yes.
Right now, name me
He does
3
this every
examples
time.
of Tawheed.
He asks this question to every single freaking Christian, bro. Every time that somebody attempts to make a critique against Tawheed, he just starts asking about like the internal workings of their doctrine. You imagine if I decided to do that against a Muslim? If I start asking them, if I say specifically, what is the name for the scholastic distinction between essence and energies in my version of the Trinity? Like, or if I just start adding into certain things, like I was to say, what is the thing that formally constitutes the Father in the Orthodox view? You know what I mean? Like I understand. It's pretty much, yeah. Hold on.
Did you take time to study about Tawheed prior to this debate?
It is a decent. I'll admit that is not a terrible question, I guess, because like when you think about it, that's like as simple as saying like, can you explain like the processions of the Trinity? You know what I mean? Like if you're critiquing the Trinity, you probably should know it, right? So that's fair. I'll give you guys that. Chat rebuked me properly on that one.
Okay. Are the persons in the Trinity, are they separated?
No.
I wonder what he would do if somebody just went, yes. like what would he do? Yes. Like it, like yes, 3 wills, bro. They just all agree. Like, what would he do?
If someone said they're separated, is this heresy?
You're gonna refer to that church father. Again, I didn't read the church father, so I can't give a response.
I'm not afraid.
Wait, what?
No, are the persons separated?
No, not ontologically, and neither
Okay,
are
so
personally.
ontologically, if it's separated, what heresy is this?
Tritheism, polytheism, etc.
Saint Basil of Caesarea, letter 30.
Incoming massive quote mine that's going to be crazy out of context. Let me pull this up. He's doing letter 38.
Chapter 4, the hypostases are separated.
Oh my gosh, there is absolutely no way he just did that. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Dude, I'm gonna freaking show this. This is dumb. He did not just use letter 38 for that. Give me a second. Here we go. This is what he's talking about right here. All right. So it says, for the Son by whom are all things and whom the Holy Ghost is in... Oh, not that one. Sorry. My bad. So it talks about the concepts here. There is a separation of certain circumscribed concepts from the general idea and the expressions of the means of their names. So when it says that they're separated conceptually, that does not mean that they're actually separated in reality. That's ridiculously dumb. We do admit that there is a conceptual separation in the persons because you can individually pick out each person and talk about them as a referent. That does not mean that then therefore they ontologically then exist in the way that you're conceiving them of. That's ridiculous. You guys would even admit yourself that the attributes of a law are conceptually separated. You can talk about each individual attribute of a law in a separated format by talking about them individually, whether that be really distinct in like a major real fashion or in a formal fashion, where if you like have like a weird scotist understanding of it. But St. Basil's main thing is that they exist conceptually separate. Because look right here. For the Son, by whom are all things, with whom the Holy Ghost is inseparably conceived of, is of the Father. For it is not possible to conceive of the Son if he not previously enlightened by the Spirit, and then that, by the Holy Ghost, is supply the good things has its source, is attached to the Son, and with him is inseparably apprehended. Same letter, by the way, that he just used to quote. Same letter. You think, Farouk, are you dead ass right now, dude? All I meant by that was that it was a referent. I didn't mean that it was a person, bro. Here we are again right here. Discovery is made of the separation of the hypostases. And because it's apprehended that way. Not because he exists that way. Literally right here. I just showed that it also says inseparable. So when it says that they are separated, this is separable in conception. That is not how that works.
Called Saint Basil of Caesarea, the highest holarchy, the Cappadocian Father.
This was a mega low tier argument, bro.
Now let me ask you, is God's energies and his essence, are they distinct?
Yes.
Really or conceptually?
That is ambiguous.
Really.
That's an ambiguous question. I hate to say it, but just saying real or conceptual is ambiguous. Because there's multiple understandings of what a real distinction would even be in the first place. Because if he just says yes, you know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to predict it. I think that if he says that distinction is real, he's going to quote mine somebody again. That's going to say it's not. St. Philotheos Kokkinos incoming.
Okay. Who is Philotheos Kokkinos?
Are we dead ass? Are we dead ass, chat? Bro quoted St. Philotheos Kokkinos, by the way. Specifically, the Antiretics against Akindinos, where he says that they differ conceptually. They differ conceptually. When you say that they differ conceptually, that's talking about how they are conceived. When it says that they're distinct, because now I'm actually going to go ahead and show you something. I'm going to show you that St. Philotheos Kalkinos affirms that there's a real distinction between essence and energies. Let me go ahead and show it. Post-schism. St. Philotheos Kalkinos against thing here. Right here, specifically in Antireticorum 4, this is in Patrologia Graecos 151, column 839. It says, is both of God and from God and as a natural attribute, which indeed both exist without beginning and eternally in God. For there never was a time when the Father was not the Father, for there's never a time when the Father was not the Creator and Maker. Saying that they are distinct. For the one is a perfect hypostasis from hypostasis, and fear, says the theologian, lest we make the Father substantial, but not say that the Son and the Spirit exist according to their own hypostasis, but make them certain inherent powers not subsisting. But the divine energies are essential powers not subsisting by themselves, but inherent in the essence. This is the same guy. He also says this, for he always had the power to create, but such a power was energized when God willed. Have you heard the distinction between the divine essence and energy presented by these God-bearing mystagogues? My friends.
I don't know.
He is the...
So, word wins. His name is St. Philotheos Kalkinos. He was the best friend of St. Gregory Palamas.
one who gave...
Here's how we can tell. You want to know this too? Here's how it's actually completely impossible that St. Philotheos affirmed a conceptual distinction. He anathematized a conceptual distinction at the Fourth Palamite Synod in 1368. He anathematized a man named Prochoros Kaidones. Prochoros Kaidones was a Thomist. He anathematized his understanding of essence and energies. He anathematized the understanding of the Summa's description of EED. St. Philotheos anathematized it.
Sainthood.
So that is impossible for him to affirm a conceptual distinction between essence and energies.
To St. Gregory Palamas. Why does Philotheos Kokinos in Patrologia Graece, volume 151, say the energies and the essence are not distinct externally in reality, but only in the mind? The Greek words epinoia mean in the nous, in the intellect. Why?
Yeah, so that's not what the quote says. The quote does not say that. It says that they differ conceptually. The divine essence and energies differ conceptually. He's talking about the Antireticorum against Gregoras specifically. I said Akindinos earlier, but I meant Gregoras. My apologies. It's this one. It's this work right here. I've read the entire work. It's 14 books. I've read the entire thing. Like, bro. Like, it's not. Don't even try that, bro.
Yeah, again, Ahmed, this has nothing to do with the debate.
This is the Trinity. Answer the question. Why does the person who granted sainthood to Philotheos Kokinos say that the energies in the essence are distinct, not really, but conceptually in the mind?
What did he say?
Trinity. Answer the question, but only in the mind. The Greek words epinoia mean in the nous, in the intellect. Why?
Yeah, again, Ahmed, this has nothing to do with the debate.
This is the Trinity. Answer the question. Why does the person who granted sainthood to Philotheos Kokinos say that the energies in the essence are distinct, not really, but conceptually in the mind?
Why do you say the person who granted St. Philotheos sainthood says that they're only distinct in the mind? What is he saying? Are you... Oh, I know what he's doing. He's saying... I know what he's saying. He made a... That's a massive historical blunder. He didn't mean St. Philotheos there. He meant St. Gregory Palamas. Because St. Gregory Palamas was granted sainthood by St. Philotheos Kokinos. He's trying to say how come the guy who granted St. Gregory Palamas sainthood believes in a conceptual distinction. That was his argument. Oh my gosh. So yes, St. Philotheos Kokinos at the Council of 1368 explicitly was the one who called for the sainthood of St. Gregory Palamas, and he just literally he twisted it and he got it backwards.
Yeah, may I give a response? Again, right, has nothing to do with the debate, moderator.
This is the Trinity! Trinity.
No.
This is a
Okay.
Trinity.
Let me respond. Please let me give my time to respond. You are supposed to prove the Trinity is illogical based off logic, not what, not.
This is true though. It is based off of whether or not it's logical, not whether or not that Ahmed's capable of poorly quote mining Orthodox fathers.
He doesn't want to answer.
Don't go back and forth.
Okay, tafadhal. Okay, let me ask you, right? Okay. Does the hypostasis of Jesus, did it change? Ever?
Is this an incarnation argument?
What do you mean? Does a person? Does he go under change?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Incoming Saint Maximus the Confessor quote mine about how he changed economically.
Okay, before Christ incarnated and after Christ incarnated, did he add a nature inside his one hypostasis?
He didn't actually change though.
Added a hypostasis? What?
Okay, before Christ incarnated and after Christ incarnated, did he add a nature inside his one hypostasis?
Inside his one hypostasis? Why did you say that?
He didn't actually change though.
No, did his hypostasis go from having one nature subsisting inside of it to two natures subsisting inside of it?
Yeah, but change, it happens in the nature, not in the person.
No, what?
What do you mean what?
Mm-hmm.
Change goes inside of what?
It happens within the human nature.
No, I'm asking, the human nature is subsists within the hypostasis of Jesus, yes?
Yeah, but they're not, it's not like,
No, answer my question. The nature,
Mm-hmm.
Christ went from going one person to one person having two natures.
He literally just admitted that Christ didn't change. Is Christ a person? Did he go from one person to one person? He didn't change. W.
From one person to one nature to one person, two natures. So Christ changed, correct?
It's not a temporal change.
No, I said, did it change?
It's not a temporal change.
Did it change in any sense?
Not in the temporal sense.
No, I said in any sense did it change?
Maybe in some sense. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe in some sense, right? Does the hypostasis subsist inside the divine essence or outside the divine essence?
How does that make any sense?
Sir,
No.
okay, so maybe in some
What?
sense, right? Does the hypostasis subsist in?
No, you don't ever say that Christ changes, Wordwins. So you say that the only way that you could ever say that Christ changes is if you say that he changes economically, meaning that he just takes on something else temporally. That doesn't mean that then he in of himself changes. If he says maybe, you're going to give him ammo to basically try to be like, so then he changes. You got to make sure that it's clarified.
Inside the divine essence or outside the divine essence?
How does that make any sense?
Sir, is the person intrinsic in the essence or extrinsic from the essence?
Obviously, the person possesses the full divine nature.
No, I never asked that. Does the person subsist inside the essence or outside the essence?
I'm pretty sure that's when.
Is he doing a Severn dilemma right now? He's doing the Severn dilemma. W. Saint Severus Yakovos, bro. Are you a Miaphysite? You should not be saying that. He is not a saint, dude.
Intrinsic means?
Yes, I'm asking you, is it intrinsic or extrinsic from the essence?
Yeah, so I don't know why.
Okay, you're joking.
Well, I don't know why you.
Sir, is it intrinsic or extrinsic? Answer it.
Yeah, in the sense that Jesus possesses the nature.
Sir, I'm not asking you.
By the way, the logicality of the Trinity has nothing to do with the logicality of the Incarnation, like by itself, by the way.
Possesses it. I'm asking, does Christ subsist within the hypostasis of the, does Christ hypostasis subsist in the divine essence or outside of the divine essence? Which one?
Yeah, if you're meaning in the sense of like time and eternality, yeah, obviously he has.
Okay, host, he's not answering it. Okay, let me ask you, right?
Bro, what?
No.
You didn't even let me answer.
Okay, it's a true dichotomy. True dichotomy question for us.
You can get an answer, but then please just move on because you guys are just going like.
Okay, a true dichotomy. Does the person of Jesus?
Bryce J is getting Shubahat right after the word lost. Brother. You think I'm getting Shubahat right now? What planet are you on?
Okay, you're allowed clarifiers. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
This is sad, man.
A true dichotomy statement. No third option. Does the person of Jesus subsist intrinsic with the divine essence or extrinsic from the divine essence?
This is the freaking Severn dilemma.
Which one?
Yeah, my clarifying question is: are you referring to like, does the person?
Actually, no. This is actually not the Severn dilemma. This is like Agen's argument that he uses because here's what I think that this is. He's going to basically say that if it's intrinsic, then therefore suffering is something that's intrinsic to the word. Therefore, the word in of himself suffers. Blah blah blah. If it's extrinsic, that's not possible because then he doesn't actually possess it. That's what this argument is.
Is he like extrinsically in the sense of like being like within a created reality, him being like spatially
when I say
distinct from the
extrinsic,
essence? I wasn't done with clarification.
When I say intrinsic,
I wasn't done with the clarification.
Okay, what's ended?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's more like universals and particulars.
Go ahead.
I'm asking you your clarifying question, or your question is is Jesus spatially distinct from the divine nature?
No one asked that.
I'm meaning an ontology.
Okay. When I'm asking, does Jesus subsist inside the divine essence or outside the divine essence? Which one?
Yeah, what do you mean by inside, intrinsic? What do you mean?
Honestly, you could just concede that he exists inside the divine essence. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with just saying that he's intrinsic to the divine essence. Like, so what?
Time is paused because he's asking clarifiers. The time is paused because the Thewordwins is asking clarifiers. That's why it's paused.
He's gonna ask infinite amount. Listen, when I say inside the divine essence.
Wait, okay, Ahmed, just let him ask the clarifier, answer it, and then we're gonna go back onto it. Okay?
Okay, I ask your clarifier so we can all be witness to it. Go ahead.
Because if you say he's intrinsic to the divine nature, right? Then I'm assuming then he probably would ask, okay, is it intrinsic to the human nature? And then it becomes the false dichotomy.
Yeah.
It is a false dichotomy when it gets to the human part.
What do you mean by intrinsic?
Intrinsic.
Yes.
Means it's inside the divine essence. It subsists inseparable from the divine essence. It's inside the divine essence.
Yeah, so I'm asking you, like, what does that mean? Does it mean that he's possessing this nature?
Okay, sure. That he possesses the divine essence entirely. And that he represents...
Yo, W word wins, by the way, right now for collapsing it into something that's easily answerable. Because that was a good reroute there.
It's the divine essence.
To get it to that, to get it to where that's what he clarified.
I'm excluding all other persons in the being. That's what I refer.
No one said that. I'm asking.
Well, I'm just stating my position.
Okay.
Take the answer earlier.
Okay, so is Jesus and God co-referential?
If you're referring to like the being, you can refer to all three persons. But
what's a being?
Okay, so are you gonna let me respond?
If God is a being, then what is he being?
Yeah, but what's a being?
Are you gonna let me respond to the first question you asked me? To the first question you asked me.
You're wasting my time.
You're wasting your own time.
Pause time.
You can't get mad because you asked me another question.
Look at this.
Mid response, bro.
Okay, listen. If you're gonna ask a clarifier, I'm just gonna put it like this because now we're kind of just wasting time. We spent like 1 minute going back and forth. 1 minute of the time was paused. So you can ask one clarifier, the Thewordwins.
No, I was giving a response, not a clarifier.
And okay, you can ask no, but when you pose it as a question, that's the clarifier. I'm gonna unpause it, and then after that, please let's keep it to one clarifier each. One clarifier per question. Okay.
But also, you have to like let me like respond to his question because he just like automatically.
Then let's do this. When you ask the clarifier, okay, he can answer, and then when he asks you a question, you get 30 seconds to answer.
Okay.
Is that all right, Ahmed? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna start again.
Yeah, so you asked me, is Jesus and God co-referential? Yeah, when we refer to co-referentiality, we're only referring to like if the person, like when we refer to the being, are we referring to all three persons? Yes, so they're co-referential in that sense, but not in the sense of the Father and the Son being co-referential, just in the sense of being.
Okay. Okay. Is the Father and the Son the same God but different persons?
Yeah.
What?
In the sense of the Father and the Son being co-referential, just in the sense of being.
Okay. Okay. Is the Father and the Son the same God but different persons?
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't catch
they
that.
have the same nature, but two distinct relations.
Okay, and what's a nature?
Nature is just going to be like the set of essential properties of.
Okay, what's an essence now?
I believe they're interchangeable.
No, they're not.
Cornball.
What's your question?
Nature comes from the Greek word physis. Essence comes from the Greek word ousia.
In the Alexandrian school. Literally, that problem only existed in the Alexandrian school, bro. That problem did not exist anywhere else, other than Alexandrians.
Yeah, it still affirms the same.
No, it
witness.
isn't.
A physis, as in nature, is simply just a concrete reality. And then essence would just be considered a universal, like in the Alexandrian view. That's not exactly what is taken at the Council of Chalcedon directly. We have a specific wording that we use for nature, and we determine that nature and essence are one, and that hypostasis and prosopon are one. Because there was different schools that were fighting about words.
No, it doesn't.
So essence and okay.
He's collapsing all of orthodoxy into one singular school that had an issue.
I can't even ask a question. Go ahead, Nick. What's your next question?
No issue. So you can respond. Listen, does God have accidental properties?
Does he have accidental properties? No.
Okay, so the three persons don't have accidental properties, yeah?
Yeah, they have hypostatic properties.
I never asked it hypostatic. I had accidental.
I'm stating my position.
I'm asking a true dichotomy, a yes or a no. Does God, the three persons, do they have accidental properties? Yes or no?
No. No.
Okay, great. For two things to share the same essence, do they must share the same essential properties? Yes or no?
Oh boy, here we go. He's going to say that paternity is essential. I don't think we don't believe that God has accidents. No word.
In substance, yes.
Wait. Oh, I just said for two things to share the same essence, they must have the same essential properties. A yes or a no?
Clarifying question. When you refer to thing, are you referring to the who-ness or the what-ness?
I'm referring to any value of an instance.
Yeah, we don't believe that.
Which is the who-ness.
Thank you. So we don't believe that the persons are instantiations of a universal.
No one said instantiations.
You just said an instance.
I said an instance of a value in formal logic, brother. Not in metaphysics, not an ontological basis, brother. Pay attention. So listen, okay. I'm asking again. Does Jesus and the Father have the same essential properties?
Yes, they have the same essential properties.
Okay, and they don't have accidents, yeah?
No.
Okay, does the Father, was he begotten or not begotten?
Paternity. I knew it. How did I... Dude, am I a prophet? I knew he was going to reference the paternity thing. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. How did I know? Person, nature, collab. Bro, W. Eunomius.
Yeah, the hypostatic identity of the Father is unbegotten.
Okay, so the first person in the Trinity, he has the property of being anascable, yes?
Not a freaking essential property, bro. It's a hypostatic property.
What does that mean?
Anascable.
Mm-hmm.
It means being not begotten.
Yeah, his hypostatic...
That wasn't necessary. Anascable was not necessary to use at all.
Like identity is necessarily being unbegotten.
Okay, so the Father has a property of being not begotten. Does the Son have a property of being not begotten?
Hey, Farouk, I'm going to go ahead and send you to Mecca so that you can stop freaking talking in my chat since you wanted to say something like that. You dirty blasphemer.
Yeah, I thought you knew this. Yes, obviously Jesus has the property, his hypostatic identity is being begotten.
There's plenty of Muslims in this chat that are being respectful, but if you're going to say shit like that, you can go do woohood or something.
Okay, I asked, does Jesus have the property of
or voodoo or whatever they call
being
that.
unbegotten?
And hypostatic properties?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, great. And if something has attributes and they're not accidental, they're going to be necessary, essential, yes?
Yes, because it's eternal.
Great! How can the Father have the same essence of the Son if two things share the same essence, if and only if they have the same essential predicates? If the Father has essentially the property of being unbegotten,
It's not, dude. This is. It blows my mind that people think that this is a good argument to this day. It blows my mind that people think that if you just collapse the persons like Eunomius did. This is the Eunomian premise, bro. That's all this is. This is the Eunomian argument against the Cappadocians prior to Constantinople I. It's the exact argument. Identical argument. Bruh.
But Jesus does not have the property of being unbegotten. The Father has an essential property that the Son does not have.
Not an essential property, bro. Because it's funny because he creates a dichotomy, but it's not an actual dichotomy. Because he'll be like, because if you say like it's not an essential property, they'll just be like, oh, so it's accidental. No.
My modus opponents, they do not share the same.
There's a tertium quid there. It's literally just a hypostatic property, and in God, everything is necessary. Therefore, it's a necessary hypostatic property.
In essence, are not consubstantial. You can see no issue. Listen, you said that
He didn't concede that.
Jesus is God by predication, yes?
Not in the sense of like of him being like an instantiation, but in the sense
Who's
that
instantiation? Who said
So
instantiation?
please,
You did in your opening, or your rebuttal. You said that that being God by predication is referring to him as an instance, bro. You literally said that verbatim. I remember.
please let me answer. Yeah, when I say like by predication, I'm saying in the sense that not of an instantiation or a universal, or that he's like one of a genus, but in the sense that he fully possesses the divine nature.
Okay, what framework of the Trinity says that the three persons are going to be God by predication?
Well, I just believe as an Eastern Orthodox, that's just the position I hold.
Okay, so what's the framework called?
What do you mean, what's the framework called? Does it need an explanation?
What's the Eastern Orthodox framework called for the Trinity?
Does it
Monarchical. The monarchical
It has
trinity.
one, is identified
It's the monarchical trinity.
as one. I said in my opening for you. What is it called?
Can I ask a clarifier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what do you mean by framework? Are you asking me where I obtained this information from?
No, the framework of the Trinity that distinguishes you from the Latins, the Orientals, that makes you unique against the others. You deny filioque, that's one, right? But you have a framework called, has a name, it's for Eastern Orthodox. What's it called?
In Eastern Orthodox?
Okay, it's called monarchical Trinitarianism.
Yeah, Orientals hold to the monarchical Trinitarian model, bro. So why'd you say that it's different from the Orientals? That's the same model. The Orientals have the same model of the Trinity as we do. They affirm Constantinople I. But I don't even know why he just tried that. And by the way, the Latins of the first millennia also believed in the monarchical Trinity. It's specifically just the Thomists that harp on it. That's it.
If the Father is the ark of the Son, what does it mean for the Father to be the ark of the Son?
Yeah, to be the originator.
The originator?
The principle.
The principle. So what does it mean to be the principle of something?
Yeah, it's just referring to like the relational roles.
Wait, what does it mean though?
Yeah, it's just the way that the Father begets the Son eternally.
Okay, so I'll tell you what arche means. We actually get it. We get it from Aristotle Metaphysics in the book of Principle and Definitions. Arche means a source of a cause, and that's why Saint Basil of Caesarea in letter 38.
He said Saint Basil of Caesarea, by the way, in case anybody didn't catch that ridiculous way he said that. So here we go, another quote mine from Basil. You guys ready to debunk that shit too? Hold on, let me pull that to the side.
The older brother of Saint Gregory Nyssa, he says the Son's existence is derived from the Father. All right. So let me ask you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure, I concede.
Do you agree that the Father begot the Son? Begetting is an action. You agree?
Yeah.
Is he gonna collapse freaking hypostatic movement into energy? Is that what he's gonna do now?
The Father beget the Son?
The Father begot the Son.
I precog that argument too. Let's see what happens.
Yes, from eternity.
Okay, no issue. We'll see. And begetting is an action, yes?
He's gonna collapse it into energy. Do you hear it? He's about to do it.
It's an eternal act, yeah.
Okay, it's an action. Okay. Does the genus of action, does it signify the genus of motion? Mean that with action you have motion, you agree?
No, because
dude, are we dead ass?
the temporal language is it has a fluctuation. So anything that please let me respond. I know you were going to cut me off. The human language is temporal, so that means that anything that we try to explain that's atemporal is already going to like presuppose like some kind of temporal fluctuality. So the same thing like how I can say, was there a time before time? I'm not actually saying that there was a sequence or a chain.
The cause of the persons is an act from essence necessarily. The energies are not. The energies are an act from the will of the person, of the three persons, the singular will of the three persons. So the sun is not willed into existence, right? He naturally comes into existence necessarily. He just is. The energies of God are not, they aren't just are, right? They are willed.
Change before change exists.
They're volitional. The persons are not volitional.
It's just that the language is temporal. So anything we explain atemporal is going to always refer to like some kind of temporal functionality.
You said language is temporal, yes?
Yeah, is it not?
Is language universal or particular?
What? What? What was the... Oh, shit. What was the point of asking that?
Language, a universal or a particular? I don't get how that makes any sense.
The ontological status, is it instrumental or extramental? Language.
Yeah, obviously it's instrumental, it's abstract.
Okay. How is it temporal yet in the mind alone?
It's only in the... What do you mean?
Oh, are we? Oh my gosh, there's no way, bro. Wait, so... so all thoughts are eternal, bro? No way, bro. All thoughts are eternal. No shot. No shot, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. There are temporal abstractas, by the way. Those are a thing. If something has never been proposed, then it is proposed in time by creation. If, for example, the rules of soccer, there was a singular person eventually that proposed the rules of soccer. That is not atemporal. That is a temporal abstract thought, bro. That literally went from the state of potency to act. It had the potential to be a thing and it became a thing. It's now a thing. It wasn't a thing prior to that, bro. Football? No, we have real football over here in America, actually.
That's what you just said instrumental.
Temporal,
Inside the mental, inside the mind.
yeah, temporal in the sense that anything we explain is going to always like explain something happening in like a timely like action, like a sequence.
Okay, let me ask you. For action, does it signify emotion? A yes or a no? Quick.
In a temporal sense, yes.
No, I never said the temporal sense. I said in metaphysics, ontologically, does the genus of action signify the genus of motion?
If you're referring to like an eternal action, no.
No. I'm not ascribing eternality. Okay? I'm saying.
But that needs to be clarified. That actually does need to be clarified. Because if an action is something that is within time, it does necessitate motion. But if it's an action from eternity, it does not necessitate motion. It depends on the case. If it's an eternal act, it does not necessitate motion.
Metaphysically.
Especially if we're talking about the freaking existence of the persons.
Negating temporal or atemporal in metaphysics, ontologically, does the genus of action signify the genus of motion?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
No, you've been too much clarifying.
I can't.
You said no, you cannot.
I can't ask you a clarifier.
Does the genus of action signify the genus of motion?
Let him ask one clarifier. The time is paused, and then
okay.
Yeah, the clarifier is why do I need to exclude like temporality and eternality?
Because it's a metaphysical priority, and metaphysical priorities it's outside space time.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that then therefore like the actual act, dude. If you're referring to an eternal act versus referring to an act that is temporal, then that changes whether or not that it necessitates motion. So just collapsing it into a single thing as metaphysics, that does not work because guess what? Metaphysics is also divided into eternal understandings or abstract understandings versus things that are concrete. All of that type of stuff, it's distinct in metaphysics too. So saying, no, I'm talking about metaphysics, that's not an argument. That's not even a proper collapse. You can't do that. That's not even real. He just freaking collapsed that. He collapsed temporal acts and eternal acts into one singular category called metaphysics. That's not how that works.
Okay, so if I'm negating the temporality, then obviously
No, listen.
you're feeding your own question.
There's a difference between a temporal begetting and an eternal begetting. Very simple.
By metaphysics, by metaphysical priority, does the genus of action signify the genus of motion?
Yeah, motion has changed, so your question is a defeater itself.
Does genus of action signify genus of motion? Yes or no?
I can't answer the question unless I bring temporality.
You're stuck on this question. Let me ask you. Can you give me an example of an action that does not have motion outside the Trinity?
No, anything that is outside of God is temporal, so obviously not.
Oh, wait, no. So I'm asking a yes or a no, nothing else. Are you able to...
If you're implying that the motion is basically the termination or the effect, like for example, like the motion would not be in the act itself. The motion itself, if it's an eternal act, the motion would be in the effect. It would be in the thing that is terminated from that act, not in the actual act itself. That's not like I don't like you could just say any of God's attributes, like any of God's energies are an example of that. Literally any of them. Because the act in of itself does not necessitate motion. It's whether or not the act itself is temporal or atemporal. If it's eternal, if it's eternal act, then the effect is an emotion. That's motion. But the effect is not identical to God, so it doesn't matter.
Give me an example of something that has action but does not have motion outside the Trinity.
Well, outside of God, no.
No. I never said outside of God. I'm saying.
You literally did ask outside of God. You said outside the Trinity. The Trinity is God, bro.
The
Trinity is God.
But one second. So when you say that you cannot demonstrate an
See, me and Wordwins got a single brain cell going right now.
example of action without the motion, except for the Trinity, you negate PSR. You brought up PSR, you stay with it. There is no principle sufficient reason why God has an action of begetting without motion. You felt it progress like your own self. Now let me.
Huh? What? How does that break PSR? That doesn't break PSR.
Let me ask you. You brought up the PSR. Who coined the term principle sufficient reason?
Leibniz.
Okay, we're in Leibniz's book.
I don't know.
That's irrelevant.
Okay.
I didn't learn it from him. I learned it from somebody from the 20th century.
Okay. Does the father and son, do they satisfy a equivalence relation inside the divine essence?
Wait, one more time?
Does the father and son, do they satisfy the conditions of an equivalent relation inside the divine essence?
Pertaining to PSR?
We're not even talking about principle sufficient reason.
I thought you were like tailgating that. So
no.
Clarifying question. What is the nature of your question?
Does the father? Okay. What are the three conditions for an equivalence relation?
Yeah, I don't even know.
It must be reflexive.
I was about to say I don't get the point of that.
It must be symmetric. It must be transitive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you accept RI predicates or ordinary predicates when it comes to divine essence?
I'm pretty sure we refer to RI predicates.
RI predicates?
I'm pretty sure we refer to that, yeah.
But you said that Jesus is God by predication, not identity. How can you have a RI predicate but reject the relative identity and hold to predications? You're a coach.
Okay, that was a question.
You're done.
That was a question.
You're done.
Yeah, accepting God by predication doesn't like negate relational identity. That doesn't make any sense.
That was a question.
You're done.
Okay,
you're done.
He asked me a question.
You're done.
That doesn't like I don't know what that collapse was.
Hold on, 1 second. Wait, one
All
second. Ahmed, you asked your question. Sorry, you asked your last question. I'm gonna let Word. What Christian?
Okay. I'm gonna go pee real quick and then we'll watch the Q&A. And then I'll be done for the night. But we're gonna do that. Gotta use the bathroom. Jeez. Over under on Bryce washing his hands this time, and you guys kind of baited me into it.
Questions are in the comments, so they can just pick between them.
That wasn't too quick this time. I took my time.
More Muslims. I'm gonna be honest. I see more Muslims.
Just
Do you have do you have mod?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what you can just pick the Christian then. Go ahead.
Let's see. Oh, let's see. What's good, man?
My thing's kind of lagging a little bit. Give me 1 second. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, so far, the word wins. You definitely secured the W here, because like this is just bad.
Yeah, we get you, bro.
All right. Good job, Word.
I think you could have done better on your cross examination. I think you definitely could have done better on you attacking him. Because after he denied passive potency, your entire argument about trying to argue that Allah changes kind of goes out the window. You know what I mean?
A question for Ahmed. A long time no see, bro. So can I ask a qualifier real quick? Is that okay?
Just ask if you ask your clarifier, but then ask the entire question as a whole.
Okay, yeah.
To reduce back and forths.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, so if Allah would not command anybody to prostrate to anybody other than himself, then obviously he's entitled to people worshiping him alone. So let's take a look. Chapter 27, verse 24 through 26, Satan commands others to prostrate to others instead of Allah. So if Satan's the one that guides other people to prostrate to others instead of God,
what does this have to do with the logicality of Tawhid?
In chapter 7, verse 11, Allah commanded someone to prostrate to others than himself. So is Satan Allah? Is he a second God?
No, that's not false. It's non sequitur. Satan doesn't guide people. He misguides. He doesn't
That doesn't have anything to do with Tawhid.
guide people to prostrate.
Wait, hold on. The word wins gets to comment, so you can go ahead and give an answer as well, and then we can move on.
I bet it was a good question. To be honest, I don't know too much about it, so I have no response to that one.
Hi, Roma.
Hey, host.
Why are you laughing?
Well, assalamu alaikum. Just to clarify, I just want to make sure. Word, you take from Palamas, right?
Oh, here we go.
Palamas?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still converting to Eastern Orthodoxy, so I haven't fully read everybody.
That's their guy, though, essentially. Because look, you're obviously confused when it comes to like the whole time debate, like God being radically mutable versus immutable, temporal, atemporal, all this stuff. So look,
He's gonna probably quote the section where he says that not all of the energies have a beginning, or that some of the energies have a beginning. I'm calling it now.
It says that God has eternal energies, but he also has that there's energies that are uncreated. They're not each identical to each other, which is going to be his operations, his actions, but they're not all without beginning.
They're like bots, dude. They're bots. Like they're NPCs.
So there's uncreated energies that are not all without beginning.
That section specifically is in the triads. I think it's in triads 1. It explicitly states that the ones that are not without beginning is referring to the manifestation of said action. It's not referring to the actual energy in and of itself. St. Gregory Palamas refers to energy or energia in two different ways. He refers to it as the act itself, and he also refers to it as the manifestation of that act, which does have a beginning. Some of them do not have a beginning. Some of the manifestations do not have a beginning. Like, for example, love. That is eternal. That is there is no beginning to that in any sense. There is no beginning to that. There is a beginning to the way in which justice manifests on the planet.
Then
That's all he means. If you read St. Gregory Palamas, because here's the thing, is that these people don't actually read these people. They get quotes from these people, and then they take these quotes and then they throw them at people, and they're like, what about this? There's a lot around that in Triads 1. That's in Triads 1. It's also in a couple other places, actually. I think it's also in the 150 chapters as well.
Would be intrinsic change. And the reason why, and the question I have for
Wouldn't be intrinsic change because it's talking about the effect as energeia.
you is, because you had a problem with intrinsic change, which you have to agree to. You can't say it's extrinsic to God. So the question is, would you agree that if Palamas did in fact say this, that he believed in a contingent God? Go ahead.
Yeah, I believe contingency and eternality are two different things that contradict each other, so I don't think that you're actually representing Palamas correctly. That's my answer.
Okay, Ahmed, you can comment. You got like.
I'm gonna be nice. I'm saying this not with arrogancy. I'm actually being serious. I'll tell you what Palamas says. Word. So pretty much, because you don't know about Palamas, I'll tell you. Palamas means that God can have theophany, and theophany is a manifestation of divine essence through his energies, right? Because God's essence, according to in your religion, God's essence is above the universe. It transcends. Maximus Confession, Bartolome Greque, he says that God's essence is neither being nor being.
What the hell did he just say from St.
Because God's essence, according to in your religion, God's essence is above the universe. It transcends. Maximus Confession, Bartolome Greque, he says.
In the Patrologia Graeca? That's... Yo. The Patrologia Graeca is a compilation of all of the Eastern Fathers into one singular book. The Patrologia Graeca is not a work of St. Maximus the Confessor. That's literally all of the that's literally all of the Eastern Fathers compiled into one singular book. That's what the Patrologia Graeca is. There are works of St. Maximus in the Patrologia Graeca.
Says that God's essence.
Just because you call the question before it's said doesn't make it bad. It is bad because it's so predictable that you guys still use arguments like this. It's upsetting.
Is neither being nor being. It's super being. It transcends the dichotomy.
The fact that it's predictable in the first place shows that the argument is not good. Because you could see it coming from a mile away. They're so low tier, it's not even funny.
Therefore, God uses energies.
Same guy who tried to
maintain
debate a
theophany
priest.
and manifestation with his world. Now, pretty much the entire argument is that before creation, there was no start of where this energies would be, right? Because energies, they subsist within a hypostasis. They're in hypostasis.
What kind of argument is that, doofus? I didn't make an argument. Are we dead ass? You still fail to debunk the argument every time? Bruh, did you not hear anything that I said? Are you guys freaking deaf? Kareem, can you tell me how I argued against his thing with Palamas? Can you tell me how? Tell me what I did, and then tell me how I didn't address it. Go ahead.
Not anhypostasis. They're inside the hypostasis. So they would exist they wouldn't exist at all.
What did you say?
It would be, right? Because energies, they subsist within a hypostasis. They're in hypostasis, not anhypostasis. They're inside the hypostasis.
They're not I don't know about that. They're more like in the nature, and then they're utilized by the persons. They're not exactly en hypostaton. That's not necessary, because the en hypostaton would be a nature. Natures would be en hypostaton.
So they would exist they wouldn't exist at all, but then they would exist, emanate from God posterior to creation, emanation by theosis. So the thing is, your God have intrinsic change too, because not only do you call your God, not only do you call the essence God, but you call the energies God also, according to 150 chapters. I'll be chapter 75.
Okay, all right, wrap it up. 30 seconds. I was over 30 seconds, so. All right, and I believe it is Ahmed's turn to get questioned. You can pick whatever, Christian.
Everything you said is still invalid. You still haven't stated what I said. So please explain what my argument even was. Since you know it was bad and that it was invalid, please state what my argument was. Because if you know it's invalid, then you know what my argument was. So please go on.
Since you have mom.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a chance to answer. And if you don't decide to answer, I'm just going to send you to Mecca just like everyone else. It's all good.
See. Yeah, there's barely any Christians requesting.
Then you can watch from the nosebleeds.
Wonder why.
All right, bro. I believe, yep, that's a Christian. And by the way, can the moderators, the Christians in the comments, please stop unmuting the blasphemers? Itachi is in the comments muting
You want to debate this topic? What topic do you want to debate
people
specifically?
who blaspheme. So please stop
Yeah, you guys
unmuting.
don't unmute anyone, actually. If they're muted, leave them muted for the rest of the live. Thank you.
All right, one of the chosen.
Yo, what up, guys? Hey, great job, Word. You did a great job, brother. Hey,
Appreciate it,
Ahmed,
bro.
my question for you is, what's the revelation in the Quran? Because I've been told that the Quran itself is the revelation, but revelation, by definition, is something being revealed that was unknown. And we have revelation in the Torah. We have
Is he doing the fucking Islamic dilemma, bro? Why? Okay. Every single time that I review these debates, I'm going to say this right now. Christians are so... I don't want to say this. I really don't want to say this, bro. This is a metaphysics argument. Stop bringing the Islamic dilemma for Q&As. Stop doing that. It's not part of it. Why is it that dude? It makes you look so low tier. Holy moly, man.
revelation in the New Testament. So what's the revelation in the Quran? And remember, it has to be something we didn't know before. So what?
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
If I write you a letter, and in the letter I said, this letter is written by me, this letter will contain such and such.
Went over his 30 seconds. You can comment just until.
Yeah.
Let's move. All right.
حياتي.
Barakallahu feek. The word wins. Just to ask my question, just to clarify, you agree that anything that undergoes change is temporal, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So the word wins in this first rebuttal that Ahmed, where he was asking you questions, is recorded. You explicitly said that the second person of the Trinity, Christ, underwent change atemporally. So according to you, there's going to be a contradiction because you affirmed that there's going to be a change that's atemporal, and anything that undergoes change has to be temporal. That's therefore going to be a P and not P. So can you explain that, please, for us?
Yeah, I never affirmed an atemporal change. That's goofy. I simply said
we're gonna post it.
So you can drop it now. Yeah, I never said anything. Yeah, I never said atemporal. I didn't say anything about Christ changes in any atemporal sense. It's a contradiction. So I don't affirm that. And if I did, I misspoke. Two, what I would have meant to say that the change happened within his human faculty, not within his divine nature. So therefore, there's no atemporal change. Next.
There, he changed economically. That's what he addressed. See? He changes economically, meaning he does not change within himself. Very simple.
All right.
Yeah,
Do you want to comment?
Word. Do you know what hypostatic union is? The
Yes,
natures are not outside the hypostases. The natures are inside the hypostases.
Egan's argument.
This is why you have a thing called communicatio idiomatum in Chalcedon that says that anything.
Communicatio idiomatum, by the way, is what he actually said. He's talking about the communicatio idiomatum.
A predicate of divinity is predicate of humanity because the core reference with the same hypostasis. Bro, you don't know your own. Okay. But it's going to be clipped. We're going to have clip of it.
That's overtime. That's
By the way, the communicatio idiomatum is just a communication of idioms, bro. It has nothing to do with whether or not the natures are intrinsic or extrinsic like that.
overtime. Okay. All right. Let's get a Christian for Ahmed. We're on the third person for Ahmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pick your Christian.
Oh, Michael. This will be good. Michael's good. He is smart and he knows theology.
Yeah. All right, so Ahmed, earlier in the debate, you said that the law of identity is just aliveness is law. But then later you said that aliveness is law quantifies over properties. So it's only expressed in second order logic. So my question is, why did you say that when the law of identity itself can be expressed in first order
The law
logic,
of
but not
identity
liveness
is
is law?
reflective.
Well, I'm not even done on my question,
hold
bro.
on. Let him finish the question. Let him finish the question, then answer.
Yeah, why did you say that when the law of identity itself can be expressed in first order logic, but liveness is law can't?
Okay, done?
Yeah.
Okay, drop it. Now, the law of identity A equals A is going to be reflexive. However, Leibniz law was able, even though it's second order logic, there's going to be formulas in first order logic. Now, the law of identity, we understand that it represents numerical identity simpliciter. But we know the Thewordwins rejected it. Even though it's second order logic, there's going to be formulas in first order logic. Now, the law of identity, we understand that it represents numerical identity simpliciter.
Numerical identity simpliciter. Okay.
But we know the Thewordwins rejected it when it comes to Jesus being God. He said by predication, which is you're not Christian no more.
All right, Thewordwins. Again, just because you didn't like comment previously, I gave Ahmed a bit over 30 seconds when he was doing his rebuttal previously, so you can comment as long as you need. Just to make it clear.
I already told him that when I said Jesus is God by predication, I'm not meaning in the sense of how a human the human nature is predicated to an insensation. So, again, Ahmed, right? Just keep online and straw manning, bro. Bring your next person.
I don't think you know what SOL is, brother.
Okay, don't go back and forth. All right, what Muslims are in the request? You know what, Thewordwins, can you just read out everybody that's Muslim in the request and just let Ahmed pick?
Some dude Arabic name. Imam Dawood, Sarah.
If you're requesting, just say rise me. No, see.
Christians do not comment rise me. Someone said can Quora ask. I don't know if that's against the rules.
Let Tachi pick. No, I don't want this dude.
You already have a dude, bro. You already have a dude, bro. It's too late.
Who picked him?
That's if he wants to touch you, it's fine.
No, wait. I didn't even pick this dude. Who picked him?
I don't know, somebody.
Chill.
Damn.
Word, are you stupid?
Chill. I do, bro. Don't go back and forth, man.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, issues, bro.
Okay, is there any Muslims in the request that you recognize? And if not, then Itachi's in the comments. He's saying, Itachi, if you're still down there, just pick whatever Muslim you want and bring them up.
Yeah, Itachi. Because we can't, Quora does not have,
Bryce, do you accept a formal debate to Tawheed versus Trinity? I don't even really care to freaking critique Tawheed, bro. You could just freaking do something on the Trinity. I don't care.
I don't know if I'm allowed to ask questions since I'm the mod.
Yeah, but after, you know what's packing, Quora?
I don't give a shit about critiquing the Tawheed. I legit don't care. I'm scared to debate you. I just said that I just said that I would literally just take an entire just a defense position. I don't care.
Oh yeah. Wait.
I don't care to critique Tawheed. It's not something that bothers me because you guys got so many different positions of freaking Tawheed. Like I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Duran, are we gonna do an open panel after this if that's okay?
Yeah, we can open it as long as we keep it respectful. It's my only request that Muslims and Christians alike can keep it academic and not get insulting because we want to make sure that we all can have a good time here.
I can't believe I literally just offered him to basically just accept a defense-only position where I'll just show that the Trinity is logical, and they're saying I'm running. It's insane.
Just learn.
All right, perfect. Mods are not allowed? Yeah, I'm not allowed to ask questions. I'm the mod.
Let Itachi pick because we cannot see who's requesting.
Gotcha.
I'm not having that discussion right now, bro. I'm going to bed after this.
Nice. All right.
Okay, so you said that Jesus being the begotten Son is an eternal action. Your Bible never says that. However, in Hebrews 5:5 it says.
Bro. I literally just did a formal debate 2 days ago, Ahmed. What do you mean never debate? I just formally debated 2 days ago. 2 days ago. And prior to that, I had one a month prior to that. And I've been doing the open debate lives. I don't care about attacking Tawheed. Like, I don't care for it. You guys never have clear positions on like anything. I don't care to even debate that. I will literally just accept something of literally just you trying to show that the Trinity is illogical so that I could just embarrass you. It's fine by me.
It says, today I have begotten you. So what happened to the day before that day? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm terrified, Omar. I'm willing to defend the Trinity. I'm terrified.
Oh goodness, don't even. Ahmed, you know that's silly.
Does he need to restate the question or?
No, I got it. He can just drop now. Yeah.
If you want to accept it, dude, I'll defend the Trinity. I'll defend the Incarnation. I'll defend whatever you want. I don't care.
That's just like a pre-declaration of a statement that's literally just transcribed through the prophets. And again, our language is temporal, so just because it describes something of a temporal functionality, that doesn't mean it's a temporal action, you goofball. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, Darren. I'm sorry, bro. Lord, forgive me, have mercy on my soul. I'm sorry. That's your answer.
All right, Ahmed, 30 seconds to comment.
Let's do Incarnation. Dude, you're running from a Trinity defense now? Oh my goodness. Why don't you just do both? Why don't we just do both of them, bro?
And then I believe it's one more.
Forgive me, have mercy on my soul.
Yeah, I said I'll do Trinity, Incarnation, like whatever. Like I'll just defend the Christian metaphysics. Like I don't care.
Temporal functionality. That doesn't mean it's a temporal action, you goofball. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, Darren. I'm sorry, bro. Lord, forgive.
Are you not able to attack the Trinity against me? Is that your issue? Like, because I'll do both. I'll definitely do both. The Trinity is embedded in like how we actually argue for the Incarnation. So only arguing for the Incarnation doesn't really make much sense by itself. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a fair thing to say, right?
Give me, have mercy on my soul. I'm sorry. That's your answer.
All right, Ahmed, 30 seconds to comment, and then I believe it's one more Christian, and then one more.
Yeah,
Muslim.
he is just gaslighting me. I'm just gonna keep doing the debate thing.
And then it's wraps.
Yeah, today I begotten you was via human nature. I will multiply church fathers saying that, today has been time. When we talk about today, according to Aristotle in physics, because you're a classical philosopher, he says that any declaration of a of time will be including time. So today, tomorrow, yesterday, that includes time. I don't think Thewordwins I don't think he understands.
And it is done.
Great. Yeah. So my question for Ahmed is going to be this: if it's the case that as we understand change, if it is the case that unbegottenness and begottenness is a Cambridge change, would you agree that that Cambridge change is not going to affect the intrinsic nature of the divine, but rather that it would affect the extrinsic relation of the divine?
No, because the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, according to them, the Cambridge relation is only discernibility from the hypostasis. Now, what you say, via a detailed analysis, they're supposed to have the same essence, but they only have the same essence if only they have the same essential properties. Now, because being begotten, being unbegotten are accidents or essential properties, we concluded, and he can see that they don't have the same essence. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's a distinction between person and nature. It's not a dichotomy. Whether or not something is essential or accidental it depends on the referent. So I don't understand. I don't understand why they always do the Eunomian premise, bro. It doesn't make any sense.
My response to that, again, you're a liar. I never said they don't have.
They just collapse person and nature. They all do it.
Same ontological
Literally all of them.
But again, just keep online.
They don't have the same ontological properties?
Don't go back and forth.
Yeah, no, I clearly just said, Ahmed, open your ears, maybe take your hoodie off. You can't.
Calm down.
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, my bad. Lord, forgive me. I said that they share the same ontological properties, bro. You done? That concludes it all, right?
All right, perfect. One more Muslim, and then the debate is concluded, inshallah.
Yo, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Glaze? Who is this guy?
So my question is for Thewordwins in regards to what was the response to the counter argument posed by Ahmed in regards to God's jealousy? You made the claim that God loving or having the property of being the most loving would entail that there would have to be something prior to creation, or rather it was that God actualizing this attribute in creation would make him contingent. However, in regard to Ahmed's counter argument, I'm not too sure if there was a response. What is the response to God being jealous in regards to relations? Thank you.
Before creation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I can answer this question very simply and easily, and maybe if other people heard me in my opening statement,
I'm not going to say anything until Word answers.
I don't affirm there's a time to God. So there's no today, there's no here, no after, right now, none of that. So when you say before God or before creation, I don't believe there's a time before time. That's the answer. So no, obviously, like God is not subject to a measurement of when He's giving something or not giving something because it's eternal. Thank you very much.
Yeah, God doesn't provide jealousy to anything, by the way. That's anthropomorphic language. God does not actually possess an attribute called jealousy. Jealousy. So all of God's attributes are something that would denote committing an act in some way, shape, or form, or possessing the power to do something. Jealousy, right, in of itself is not something that God performs. God does not perform jealousy. Like it doesn't actually. It's not a property of God. Jealousy is God is jealous, as in like He literally performs love in a way that's anthropomorphic to humans seeing it as jealousy. Doesn't mean He is identical to jealousy, bro. Wow.
Cora, can I respond?
Yeah, you get 30 seconds to respond, and then this concludes everything.
Word, you didn't bake yourself. You Bubba baked yourself. You said that you cannot make affirmative statements about God before time. So you cannot say that Jesus was begotten by the Father before time. You just made a cataphatic, intrinsic relation within God before time.
Bro, I did not see Korra versus Juju. Dude, I'm not even freaking addressing that. That's just so dumb.
Bubba baked yourself, brother. Why
Oh
do
my
you do
gosh,
this, bro? This is embarrassing.
Okay.
I don't want to be part of this.
Since the debate is over, since the debate is over.
Wait, hold on real quick before we get going, because I know y'all got a lot to say, and I know we're going to bring up some people here in a minute. Let me just say thank you to both of you guys. I think both of you guys did an extraordinary job. I think we muted the people that needed to be muted.
False.
Huh?
Okay, so it's either the case God exists right now or He doesn't.
Yeah, so the question is presupposing that God is existing in like a timely manner to where there's a now for Him. I don't believe that.
No, the now look like Boethius.
The now is within
Boethius. It's always fucking Boethius, bro.
the created order, brother. The now is in the created reality, not the uncreated
so just
reality.
so you agree with people like Boethius and Peter
I don't
Lombard
know.
and these guys.
I mean, I don't know no
they hold the
Boethius, bro.
position- No,
I don't know.
He's Orthodox. I know he wouldn't agree with Lombard.
I'm just saying their name. Just don't panic. Let me just tell you.
Don't panic. It's the same rhetoric as always, bro.
So God neither exists today, tomorrow. He doesn't exist yesterday, and then He says He exists at all times. So would you hold to a B theory model of time?
So again, right, you're strawmanning my position. I'm not saying that He doesn't exist for us. I'm saying God does not exist in a time like in a timely matter. Like there's no today, there's no Wednesday, no Thursday. I'm saying that He Himself does not exist in a temporal reality in the sense of
I don't think you're tracking what I'm saying. You could hold the view that there's one eternal now and you're eternal. And
Yes,
in time, it just seems to be the case that things are changing, but the now is just one eternal now. You could hold that view.
Are you affirming?
That's going to be the B theory model of time.
Are you affirming now? Are you affirming now as like a place and time?
Now refers to the present.
It is refer to a place and time?
The present is obviously time, yeah.
We're going to have you write an article soon for the website. Yeah, sure. I got you, bro. I can start getting started on it. I mean, it wouldn't take me too long to make. You wanted it on eternal manifestation, right? Is that what it was?
Okay, so do I believe that God is subject to time?
No, you don't. That's the whole point.
Oh, thank you.
How does you don't say thank you and act like you did something.
EED in general? I could do that. Yeah, I can make a new refined one because I made a couple of them, but I'm going to make some new ones.
Because the problem in your position.
Who won this debate? Thewordwins definitely won this one, bro. Like normally I'm like torn, but this is a clean sweep.
Very ill-read when it comes to this is how does the eternal now correspond to the present? Because you would presumably
Stig might be the highest tier debater right now. Sig doesn't debate anymore.
you would say that God is causally sustaining the universe right now, right?
Causally sustaining. Is that like an ongoing motion?
Is God sustaining the universe?
He sustains the universe.
Yeah, is that like eternally?
There's not a measurement of how long he's doing something. Nice try though, Umar.
It's either it's eternal or it's not.
In a temporal sense. Of course it's eternal, but that's why there's a distinction between temporality and eternality.
Hey, he's been eternally sustaining the universe?
Here we go. Modal collapse.
What do you mean by eternally? Like forever going?
No beginning and no end.
Okay, that's not forever going. That's everlasting, dude.
I'm not talking about post-eternal. I'm talking about pre-eternal. Track.
You're saying eternally creating, as in like there's an always constant. There's not an always constant in eternality, bud.
That's not what I'm asking.
Oh
the universe came into existence at a point in time. We agree. We're theists, right? The universe did not always exist. Now,
exactly.
Does the universe rely on God's causal to like causally sustain it? You would agree, obviously. Yes.
Yes.
You don't
yes,
hold
obviously.
to you don't hold to you don't hold to existential inertia. Okay. So if you don't hold to existential inertia, where you hold the idea that, you know, the universe is contingent, but it's just contingent because it's originated, not the fact that it requires God to sustain it throughout its existence. Well, if it does require God to sustain it throughout its existence, and you don't hold to existential inertia, then God would be causally sustaining it now, at this moment. Now the question becomes...
To us is the now, brother. To us is the now. Not to
Here's Mike peeking.
him. Not to him.
Exactly what. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm saying. So now what you've done is you've reduced all times into one. Past, present, and future are all going to be one from God's perspective. From our perspective, it seems that we're changing, but you hold to a B
No, you're fine, Word Wins. This is fine.
theory eternalism model of time. So you're eternal, objective.
Future.
Yeah, we hold to A and B theory. It depends on the perspective.
Future.
That's a concession.
It's not, but nice try.
Yeah, wait. I had a question for.
That is an actual concession.
Concession. I would have to be making a statement of concession, goofball.
Okay, brother, just move on, brother.
Yeah, I just had a question if like anybody like have the full debate because I missed like a lot of it. So like
It's gonna get
posted somewhere.
It's gonna be somewhere. Trust me. Don't worry about that.
You hold to like an A theory model or B theory. I'm sure you talked with Mullen and other guys when it comes to this.
Yeah, I hold presentism.
Presentism? W, man, W. Yeah, presentism is based. B theory, eternalism.
I take the view of Ryan Mullins.
W. Oh my God, nice. Yeah, look, the problem about my blood, what I'm trying to introduce is if now is just, you know, things are changing from our perspective, then from God's perspective, things would have to be eternal, and we would have to hold to this B theory eternalism model of time. But I don't think that's compatible with any of the Abrahamic faiths.
No, I understand. I mean, it could just be the case that
I think they're just talking
company
about
itself
to this themselves.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty much it, dude. That was a really good debate to watch. That was funny, for sure. That was definitely entertaining. Oh gosh, bro. Yeesh. Well, all right. Yeah. Time for me to go to bed. I'll catch you guys later. W Word Wins. For sure. On that one. That's the first debate review that I've done so far where I kind of just straight up said, yeah, no, that was Word Wins for sure. That was nice. The name of the debate, Jack, is The Word Wins versus Ahmed Qureshi. Appreciate it, man. Glory to God.